The stardate is 7904.5. The Achilles is still marooned near a binary star system where an Iconian gate is perpetually left in a hyperspace loop. But they are not without hope, as they have at least one avenue to escape the system through some rather dangerous maneuvers. But before they decide to loop themselves around the binary stars across the curve of hyperspace, there is certain mysteries and resources that can be gathered from one of the many Iconian ships that lay derelict and silent in the star system. And this is a 2-threat game. And I think I'll jump. Actually, I'll jump straight to the bridge at the moment. As we have the ship's engines running as best they can. A good chunk of the ship suffering from rather severe headaches, mainly the psionic part of the crew, some being stasised. So that kind of makes for some alarm, but at the moment the medical staff is doing what they can to figure out what exactly is going on. But one problem at a time, as they say. You guys are all entering the bridge. Ace is not here. Ven will be here. The question is actually, first off, you guys were planning to jump on one of the ships, so the first thing I'll point out to you is where everything is. Actually, that's right. You don't know where the Klingons in the Ferengi are. I'm the one who knows that because they poofed on you. At this point, Derelict is aware of the start of the Klingon episode. So, as time goes on, I'll let you know where in that narrative they are, because they're acting similar to you.
All right.
So you guys are currently here in orbit of the one of the planets. There is this disabled freighter here, Iconian cruiser here, that's in orbit of the same planet, although it's in a decaying orbit because it's derelict, so it's not really maintaining, so it's bound to hit the ground sometime. There's these three. This one's docked with the rings. These two are very slowly being pulled toward the stars. And then there's these collection of fighters, and of course there's the ring. But you guys have kind of looked about the ring to look for things, but that was deemed not the solution to your problem, because you've already figured out that is not the way home, because if you use it, you potentially allow a lot of bad things to happen.
Well, I think at the end of the last session we set out what the plan going forward was for each department.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we got Derelict's been communicating with the Klingons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that sound creepy at all?
No, it's not.
I don't pretend to understand it. I just have to accept it. Part of being in Starfleet, right?
So I believe Arlen was to spend the next couple of days retrofitting a shuttle to the required specifications to do the maneuver.
I'll let you get the early start on that extended task, Arlen, because that's something your character could be doing. Could be arranging from either up here or going down to engineering and personally overseeing it. But it is something you can do from the engineering station to kind of talk to your staff down there.
This is to retrofit a shuttle to do the slingshot maneuver.
Yes, to
Or
throw it out of the system.
okay.
Yeah, because the Mercia has a way to perform a maneuver that'll do it. The problem is that it's very hard on the shuttle needs to be retrofitted to our current specifications as best as the ship can manage. Whoopsie.
I'll be down in engineering. I'm very hands-on.
No, okay. I'll put you. You're down engineering. So I had the engineer tycoon where it's supposed to be. Never mind. See, your extended task is if the document would load. There we go. No, I didn't need 2 of them, but thanks for the help. You PDF reader, you. We'll say that. My computer is struggling to open a notepad file. There we go. It opened 2 of them. It's starting to be 3 of them. 4 of them. Okay.
Do I hear 5?
6.
6.
Okay, it stopped at 7. Good.
And 7 to the clunky A computer. Sold.
All right. Work 16, magnitude 3, resistance 4, difficulty of 3. And this will be a control plus engineering.
And starting difficulty 3. Excellent. Limit pusher. I'm literally pushing the limits of what these shuttles can do.
That's true, yep.
Control engineering. Literally tinkering focus.
Yep.
Just remember, there were dictates or directives given in the last session.
And those should be pinned currently, I believe.
They are, but I've just reposted them.
Well, I'm going to repin these because these are neat. These are cleaner.
Thank you.
Because the other one has my name called out. It's like, well, you don't need it. This one's a little cleaner. No, don't reply to it.
Well, yeah, because I basically put the at
Cleared it
there.
with me.
Yeah, because if they kind of covered the same thing, it's a pointless fucking directive.
Don't think I have any talents against that apply. Engineering teams to assist.
They're making this possible in the time frame you have.
Okay. Using all the assets I can. Let's do 3 threat.
Sure. It's one of those tasks that no one else could do but the head engineer, or the head engineer would have to send their engineer team to help them with this. Like, no, you can't take apart a shuttle by yourself.
I mean, you can. It would just, take weeks.
Yeah. You'll be here for a month. Like, you need to do.
Yep, that's
but
fair.
3 threat taken. 3 momentum generated.
And let's
Probably
roll that work.
Yank these over into here.
Well, spending 1 to reroll.
2,
4,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 raw, 4 work done. I'm just gonna spend 1 momentum to pierce 2 resistance, and we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. So you go down there and work on it a bit, and the first bit of magnitude is just replicating the various parts that are required and moving them in, because it's a matter. It's not just purely replicating Alcaran technology. It's which you do have access to some of their recipes because you're a lesser power, but it's one of those. Yeah, your replicators can only do so much, so he kind of had to help you figure out the good enoughs. Like, this is good enough to do what we're trying to do. Is it the same as a Alcaran shuttle? No, but it should get the job done for a jump. Now we need to put them all together and program them and all this stuff. So
What do you mean you have to put the transuranium element inside the nanocarbon matrix?
and then you seal it in an airtight glass container, reinforced with vibranium. What? Oh, you don't have that. Hold on.
Reinforced with unobtainium.
Oh, come on, that's unobtainable. It's in the name. Yeah, so Arlen's working on that. Like, but he's basically stuck in a shuttle bay doing for the next while.
Yeah, I think the main two other things was science looking further into the issues with the quantum realm and this quantum signatures shifting, and the other was for, well, it was going to be both for Thralic and Rilo, but to assemble away teams and start going through cruises.
Then give me.
Wasn't I disassembling captured equipment first
Oh, you was, yes.
to get a better understanding of the technology and maybe find an IFF or something?
Yeah, and Mercia was also going to assist you with that.
Yes.
That's where Mercy. Well, he's helping multiple people today. I'll tag Ven here and get some of his stuff figured out.
I mean, if the Alcarans and the Aldemona want to post a few more people to the ship, they're more than welcome.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. One, they didn't want to like invade your space too much. Like, we need somebody to be there. Like, there are more than just the one Alcaran. Like, there's Mercia and then his staff, and they're trying to do what they can. But they were largely there as an overseer of the for the Tachyon Collider. It's like, you're not an Alcaran ship. You're a Starfleet ship, and we're not trying to make you one of ours. But hey, future missions, you might be. Should things go well, you could arguably actually start getting Alcaran and Aldemona exchange officers, because they're a lot more closely aligned with you than they were before. Reason, science, or medicine, difficulty 5, assisted by computers plus science, Ven, to figure out what is exactly going on with the quantum layer. And Thralic can assist.
Whoa.
Because you're learning hints about what's going on before Ven does.
Yeah.
Like, he'll say something and be like, "Oh, actually,
So
I
then
think
that
I
means
know
you
what that
have
is."
my advisor triggers, meaning you have a reroll.
I mean, that's if Ven's even here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought you were a Ven.
Nah.
Shush.
Stupid. Diff 5?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Probably want to buy some dice.
Yeah.
Maybe Van just wants to roll 2 dice. You don't know.
Yeah, and I haven't done anything on this before, have I?
This is your first crack at it.
Okay, 2 threat, 1 momentum then.
Okay.
What am I trying to do here specifically? Just trying to tag if any of my focuses kick in.
Analyze the quantum stuff.
Yeah, you're trying to determine what's going on with the fact that you guys are quantum separated out.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's based. Oh wait, no, you have done this before. Never mind. Because this is related to the stuff you were looking to before.
Oh, okay. In that case, take one of those threat back. Because I'd only have to spend a momentum and a threat.
Yep.
So I get a third die for free. And the difficulty goes down by 1 because Cassius-Theory into practice.
Very nice.
What science officers get to take a second shot at things when they have those 2 talents. 2 talents is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
I had a character that had the exact combo. It's a good combo.
Yeah. Yeah. After his respec, Rugan had that combo, and it was pretty slick, especially because the Hatfield was killing for it.
Team dynamics focus, GM?
Y'all?
Right. Reason science. Oh boy, this is a good roll.
Or reason medicine.
They're the same roll, GM, and they're those 2 rolls are my worst roll. Well, I have a reroll. There we go. Ven, you still have your reroll from advisor from me, unless that was the one you already did.
No, that was my cautious reroll.
Cool.
Oh, you still got the 4.
Yep. And no bonus.
You're between you and Thrall, like it's been determined that something sonic related is causing everything to shift in a weird angle, mainly focused on the planet, and it seems the Klingons are heading toward the planet to investigate what exactly that is. Something to do with something they see on sensors. When you scan where they're looking, you don't see anything. You don't see the Klingons either, but through Thrall, you're made aware that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, Frolic, I don't think I would have considered it without you, but, I've been looking at this from an entirely quantum physics perspective, assuming that all of the regular quantum physics variables are true. It must be something outside of those normal variables that led me to think, it might be something psionic.
You can also tell from the readings and base that it's almost like, imagine a big sheet of latex, and someone's grabbing it from beneath and pulling on it downward, and that's why you're getting that weird variance, that weird wobble of frequencies, because the fabric beneath the fabric of space-time is being pulled, so everything's just kind of sinking and moving around, even though the space has its own solidity, for lack of a better way to put it, but the space below space-time is moving, which is kind of making things weird on your level.
And it's through a concerted consciousness.
So presumably the ocean of consciousness is involved. So it's even below subspace, hence why you couldn't scan it, because scanners aren't really attuned for seeing things in the psionic. Your sensors don't see thoughts flowing through the air. Not yet, anyway. Give it another 200 years.
Right. I probably arrived at this conclusion by process of elimination.
Yeah. At least you know it's not a hyperspace problem.
Yeah. I was able to point you in the direction of planar theory, at least. And then I was like, I don't understand any of this. Just so you know.
Yeah, it was a direction that Ven probably wasn't even considering until you brought it up, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, right."
And then
Psionics
consider that
has its own weird planar thing going on.
and then consider in the fabric of subspace, which is below that level as well, someone took a toothpick and poked a bunch of holes in it with Nova torpedoes and Nova mines. And then some idiot's pulling at the very bottom layer through a somewhat delicate part of subspace where there's space things with gravity and all the other stuff that's complicated about regular good old fashioned physics. It's like this is one thing on top of another on top of another. And it's not, it won't be tenable very more Nova torpedoes blowing up would be a very bad thing. Or any damage to subspace would be a very bad thing right now while you're all trying to figure this out.
Yikes.
That all said, you are the science officer. You can ask a question.
I don't actually, because this is I didn't do
Oh, it's
this
not a
with
sensors
the
thing.
or the sensors.
You're right. Oh no, it's computers or sensors, isn't it?
Is
For
it?
science officer.
I thought it was tricorders or sensors.
Scroll. I may be mixing up my systems. That's why I'm a little confused. I think I know. There's not that many sci-fi systems I know. When assisted by chips, computers, or sensors, or using a tricorder.
Oh, computers or sensors. There you go. So I do get a free question.
You're doing the Spock thing. You know your computers. You know.
Yes.
Or data thing, or whoever
Yeah.
the newer science officer
The
is.
Spock or data thing. Let me see. Are there any questions that any of you guys would like to ask first?
I've got a possibility of one, and you can decide if you want to go with it. So, considering the information the two of you have pulled between regular scans and the information from the ocean, and from what the damage, from what the GMs described, are there any counters or ways that we could patch it up or reduce the pressure?
Yeah. What are there any existing remedies to this,
Um,
or would I have to develop one from scratch?
I can answer that.
Okay.
You could. The Federation does not have technology of that ilk. To give you an idea, when the Federation ran into a subspace wearing problem in a particular part of space, their solution to the problem was to not go there for a while and just go very, very slow while they went there until they improved their warp engines, and then they weren't wearing through subspace nearly as much. So the good news is the Achilles won't, if it ever could go to warp, it wouldn't make things any worse because your warp engine's more efficient. It doesn't cause faint tearing at subspace. Hooray. Downside is they never really were able to fix it. They just kind of had better technology to not make it any worse. To repair it, though, you do find a solution in the Alcaran Aldemona database. You just need a transdimensional subspace module, and you focus it on the point of damage, and you continue using it until such time that it mends, sort of like fusing subspace together.
Okay.
Downside, you don't have one of those.
Yeah.
And it's something that you would have as a talent. Like it's a specialist thing that they put on Alcaran cruisers to repair damage to the environment.
Okay. So that's what we need.
That said, if you guys were at a point, say at the end of the episode, if you're at a point where you could swap out a talent, you could have that installed. It's just a matter of taking dedicated time to go, well, we have to retrofit while in motion that exact power, that exact ability. And you now realize why the Alcaran Mercia didn't know that. That's a different that's a different arm of science. That's not something he worked on. He's an engineer, not a scientist.
I mean, there's a different option. Considering our Karens have a form of being able to contact each other via either different versions of themselves speaking to someone else and back to a different version of themselves, we could, in theory, pass this book over to the Alcarans and have them send someone here with the required technology.
In the meeting, Mercia told you he wasn't able to get in contact with people due to the interference in the area. He's been trying because that was his initial thought was, well, I'll call for backup. I'll call for an Aldemona ship or or a Karn ship, somebody.
Wait.
The best he can do is talk to the other Mercias, but they'd be either. Well, you could try talk. He's going to try to talk to other Mercias. That's actually a good idea.
In that case, all we need is the device that allows for personal dimension jumping. We don't need the more advanced thing that we have to install on our ship. Because we can just send someone back over to our universe and call for the tech that we need, right?
Well, then we still need to get the tech back over to the side we're currently on. And if we can jump out of this universe, we won't have to deal with the subspace damage here.
Okay, because the damage is only on our side.
It's
we have
where
no reason
you
to believe
are.
otherwise, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that ass backwards way of me trying to describe Mercia reaching out to a different self, to someone else, to their altered self. I mean, it kind of works, but it's still ass backwards.
Yeah, and Mercia warned that he can. One thing you would know from Mercia is that that's something he can try to do, but it's not one-to-one communication because you're kind of aware. Alcarans are all aware of their various selves at the same time. That's how they're able to see different possibilities in time. But the problem is it's hard to focus on which one is talking to you and which one needs your help in particular. And normally they don't try to because it causes complications for all involved. But you can try. If nothing else, it's a last ditch effort. If that works, he'll let you know, but he can't guarantee it'll work. It'll depend which Mercia happens to be nearby, happens to be paying attention to him, and happens to have access to technology that you need.
Well, still better than nothing.
Yeah.
Because you have to consider as well that at least in this universe, he's fairly low ranked, and they tend not to vary too much. The more strange the other version of him is, the more distant they are, the harder it is for them to hear him because they're that much more different than he is.
Right.
Because there could be
we are.
Ven, you're still pretty quiet.
Hang on.
Oh.
How about now?
That,
A little bit
yeah,
better.
that's a little better.
Boost the game.
Better?
Much
Better.
better.
Yeah.
Much better.
There we go.
Oh
There we
God.
go.
There we go.
Yeah, let me turn you down now.
There we go.
Too much.
No,
No, no,
you're
you're
good.
okay. You
we
stay
all
where
had
you
you
are.
on 200, I
please.
think. We
Yeah,
all
I had you
had
at
no
200 with
100.
my. I had you on 200 with my earbud volume turned all the way up. I was adjusting
I'm
everyone
so
else around
sorry.
you as the floor.
I went into my computer settings, and for some reason, the on computer microphone was set to like 20%.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
And there was no way for me to test on the spot without.
did anyone else's Discord just shit the bed?
Just you,
No,
man.
just
No.
you, I think.
Just you.
Because nothing else broke. Everything else is working perfectly fine. The stream, the recording, just
Okay.
Discord just went.
Well, we paused before when you popped off, so so we didn't get too far because I saw that message and I was like, "Whoop! Stop!" That said, any other questions you wish to ask? You'd have to spend thread at this point to ask more questions.
I think I'm good for now.
Ryloff, I believe you were going to investigate some weaponry.
Yes. Well, weaponry equipment. That was armor as well, I believe.
Are you going down to inspect it yourself, or are you sending people to do it?
I believe I was doing that in person as well.
Okay, so down you go.
Along with that was something I had spent an advantage to have Mercia there with. As you know about this technology, even though it's not your specialty. I don't know about this technology at all.
That will give you an advantage to bring down the diff of whatever I am able to assemble, because
Whatever you
straight up,
create.
he's personally looking over it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas at the engineering one, he's like, pull out this recipe and that recipe and put them together. It's like, okay. Yeah, he didn't really explain this all this well. It would be really nice if he was here, but whatever, we'll figure it out. And Starfleet
Wait, we're supposed to
engineers,
put the
we
lime
figured it
in
out.
the coconut?
I will hit you.
Hey, I've got a question for the players.
Yes.
Yes.
So we've got one derelict cruiser losing its orbit towards a planet, and the others losing orbit towards the suns. What happens if we just let them go, because they've still got torpedoes on them?
That's
a
a good point.
Like, we're gonna have to stabilize their orbits.
You're right, we are.
Like, did no
I
one
will get
else
on
think about that?
right away? I did not.
Forbidian, why are you laughing? Were you planning on this happening?
It's like, hey, if you guys don't look into it, I'm not going to say anything.
I'm just thinking, they've got these Nova torpedoes that have caused all this shit with subspace. It's like,
Thanks, Pen.
do we let them go into suns?
No, I don't think we do.
Why not? It'd be
Like,
fun.
like munitions generally don't explode under that kind of circumstance.
But with them, we don't know.
Exactly.
Also,
Subspace
one's
was-
gonna fall into the planet the Klingons are on?
Mm-hmm.
And
You know, like generally you have to arm munitions, because that's the point of them being munitions. Is they're not just going to explode on their own. Hopefully.
They're gonna explode when you want them to explode.
Exactly.
Unless
If
you suddenly
fail a
crash.
torpedo, if you fail the torpedo in just the wrong way, it'll explode
Exactly.
no matter what.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought I'd just ask that question just to see if anyone else is on my wavelength.
Yeah. No. I'll try and get work started on that with my actions.
So your armor, weapons research is work 15, magnitude 4, resistance 4, difficulty 4, difficulty 3 because Mercia is personally standing there with you. It will be a reason or insight plus security because you're examining munitions and armor.
security team. Then
Div 2. I'll note to you, just so you know, for timing purposes, when a new scene comes up, you can try again. Because you're spending a lot of time very carefully taking these things apart without accidentally setting them off, and because these things will melt themselves if you're not careful.
And you said what in security?
A reason or insight plus security.
Okay. I am paranoid.
That brings down the resistance.
Oh, hey. So the bomb is there.
Yeah.
Investigative techniques.
Yep. You asked the Alcard, hey, is there a bomb in this? He's like, yeah. It's pretty dangerous, actually. Like, oh.
It's like, of course there
I
is.
all the other Starfleet people, we didn't think to ask. Why? I mean, come on, it's just armor. It's like, no, you don't understand how the Demono used to be and how the Iconians really didn't value our lives.
Well, in that case, it's not, is there a bomb in this? Because he's seen this armor before. They exploded it. There is a bomb in this.
Yeah. Making sure everyone knows there is a bomb in this, guys. Are you sure, sir? I'm very sure. This isn't just paranoia. I'm right.
What
And
other
also,
redundant
where is the bomb in
detonations does
this?
it have? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's probably other ones too. Why? Well, if you're going that far.
What other
Why not have
redundant triggers
backups?
do these bombs have? Is like,
Is there
This-
bouncing Betty in the chest plate or something? You
yes,
know.
3 of them actually.
One
I'll
for each
give you-
pectoral. No, anyway.
Oh, that'd be horrifying. I'll give you a threat.
Woo! Threat train, go.
I like that so far. Where
Was this assisted by the ship? Sensor security?
Computer security. Because sensors might set off bombs. You wouldn't want to use sensors for that. Because some stuff reacts to that sort of thing.
Some stuff.
Ramen stuff,
does.
especially.
Yeah. Yeah.
But normally the computers couldn't help, but you're a lesser power, so you have some idea of how Iconian technology works. I mean, you also had Mercy who's trying to learn this too. It's like, yeah, this is stuff that hasn't existed for countless millennia, so I kind of
And
have to
that's-
dig back a bit.
7 challenge dice? Question mark.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause it's usually stat +2, isn't it?
Yeah. Oops, I went way too far. Wait, you don't have the answer yet. Why am I looking stuff up? I don't need to do that yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 4
Minus
is
3.
3.
I brought the resistance down by 1 by being paranoid.
Oh, so 4 work done so far.
We'll spend 1 of the momentum.
To pierce it
For
up to
piercing,
6.
yep.
All right. So the first bit of magnitude you did was simply, all right, let's find out where all the bombs are. But we know where one of the bombs are. No. If you're this paranoid about your armor being stolen, what else do they have? And, there's a lot. Each of the access panels has monofilament wires that, if you don't remove them properly, will shred your hand. And there's little spring traps that will, like, trap tools and electrify the user. There's little spray vents that will release on the melting material. It goes on, and it's one track. You basically spend a good amount of time just finding all of them and finding ways to bypass them, which that's part of the extra magnitude. Is okay, we found them all. Now, how do we bypass them without setting the other ones off?
Fair enough.
What is Penned up to in his ivory chair? That's leather, nice plush leather, nice chiclet keyboard next to it.
Yeah, and the base is just made out of pure latinum.
So Aurelius's ears are burning.
Not gold pressed platinum, pure platinum.
Just latinum in a force field.
Yeah.
He uses the latinum as lubricant so when he turns his chair, it doesn't grind on the deck.
I think I'm definitely going to be focusing on trying to not have multiple ships either go into planets or suns. Because that seems like bad ideas.
So, question becomes, is it this one? I really shouldn't mark this as target system, so I'm just going to confuse myself. Target system. There. So I don't lose where we're going. So this is the state of the board at the moment.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about these ships? At least one of these ships is fine because it's docked. It's not going anywhere because the station's fine.
I mean, did we? Let me just bring up the fighters.
The fighters have torpedoes on them, yes.
They have no. What to do to the fucking fighters as well? God damn it.
Yes. Yes, the fighters have torpedoes on them.
Well, first off, as we're right next to one, we'll probably stabilize the orbit. Then work on stabilizing the other two cruisers and the fighters.
Okay. Are you having the Achilles do each of them by hand, as it were? Like by tractor beam?
Yes, unless we've got better means, but that's the surefire way.
I'll give you an insight con difficulty 2. I have an idea, but nothing for free.
I'll spend my medal to reduce a con task by 1.
Your character is well versed in such things.
So it's a diff 2. I was about to try and do some mental gymnastics to try and get a talent to fire, but you're going to say no. Like, the gymnastics is, how would you take applied force? Because I'm trying to apply force to stop them going certain directions.
I mean, if you get an Eva suit and want to try to haul starships, all the power to you, but I don't think that would work.
Again,
Or
yeah.
your bees.
The mental gymnastics just weren't there.
Time to pull some Final Fantasy stuff and suplex a starship. Anyway. No, don't suplex it. Not into the planet, no.
I mean, you've let me fly an asteroid with an old time ship wheel.
It had engines on it.
That makes it only slightly better.
Yeah, well, slightly worse, depending on how you look at it. Trait of Master Strategist?
Yeah. So diff 0 currently.
I was trying to throw some more at you, but if it's already diff 0, I'll take it.
Well, no. You had it down by 1, didn't you? Because of your medal. And
Yeah.
then you have the trait, Master Strategist, right?
Yeah.
Which brings it down from diff 1 to diff 0.
Oh, I thought it was diff 3 initially. That's why I was still looking.
2.
Oh. Focus in either mental prowess or strategy and tactics.
Strategy and tactics. Yeah.
Gain 1.
You gonna squash that comp?
I will. I'm just deciding how I'd like to squash it.
With your feet.
I'll just spend the Medal of Honor by gaining 2 bonus and squash it.
Okay. So, your character realizes that he could send out shuttles to capture the fighters because they're not that heavy. And he could pull the ship that's right next to him. That's easy. And then when you go over to one of the other ships, like as they're preparing for the mission, you could try to pull. You could have the shuttles pulling at. Once they deal with the fighters, they can split up and start pulling as best they can to slow the descent of the cruisers, and then buying you enough time to very leisurely All right, I'm done with my ship. Okay, I'll help you with you guys. Because they'll be able to do the little fighters fast, and then they can very slowly be tugging away at the other two.
Okay.
The only downside to that is there's more moving parts to that plan, but it gets it all done relatively quickly before things get more complicated. Because well, you're in a very complicated bit of space right now.
Is it possible that I can give that command for us to start those maneuvers?
You can. The only thing you need to worry about, how many ships can you guys field?
2. We'll scale 5.
So 4,
Well, 4.
because you're scale -1.
Oh, all right, sorry.
So you can get 4 out there. So if you launch all your shuttles, that should be enough. Because you'd have 4 shuttles dealing with the 5 fighters, and then two shuttles would go to each of them. So that's fine. The only other thing I would do, so that's the only thing you'll do. You'll be using up your shuttle complement while they're doing this operation. There's no role for that. You just say all shuttles load up, other than the one that's being worked on, but that won't count against you because that's in like a workshop somewhere on the underdecks. Like it's not on the main floor because Arlen does not want active shuttles flying around while he's trying to do complicated engineering. I imagine. Could you not fly over my head, please? This is very sensitive work. But I would charge you for a con detail with 1 momentum. Or 1 crew support for the episode, but I don't think you want to bother doing that. Better just to spend the momentum. Because it's just a detail.
Yeah, I'll spend 1 for the detail.
Yeah,
And what
so
is this?
A con detail. So you have a group of pilots who are listening to your orders and helping you do stuff while you're doing other stuff.
And is this going to be an extended task considering the amount of moving parts?
It's going to be a series, not an extended task, but a gate challenge, which I almost never do. At least not in that blatant a way. You have essentially what amounts to. Oh, sorry, I missed that. Could we use shuttles to deflect the big ships laterally so they miss the planet, and be able to use the planet's gravity to fall into an orbit?
Kind of a silly idea, but allow the shuttles themselves to put the big ships in orbit without.
Well, there's only one big ship
hard
around the
pulling
planet.
them out.
There's only one ship around a planet, though.
Okay.
The other 2 are next to the binary star system, and if you try to make them orbit the binary stars, the gravity gets kind of complicated because there's the 2 stars plus the space station.
And
which how it's sitting in the middle of a binary star system is alarming.
2 body problems you can do on the back of a napkin. 3 body problems, and you suddenly need a supercomputer.
It's one of those like, how about we just pull them away from the star? That way it's a problem for years from now, not hours or days from now. But yeah, so let's write these down so I don't lose track of what's what. So there is the planet, Achilles planet roll. Then there's squadron, ship 1, ship 2. So essentially, you have to organize 4 different roles. If you basically have to succeed at all 4 of them. So you'd have like 1 check, then you have to hit the next check, then the next one, then the next one. If you fail somewhere along the way, that doesn't erase your progress. I just stop and go, well, while you're working on that new scene, because you're busy trying to do all the calculations and trying to make sure everything's done exactly the way you need it to go.
Yeah.
So the planet, the ship that's right next to you, that one will be reason plus con or engineering, difficulty of 2. That's the easier one because it's literally how do we get our ship to do what we're doing without making anyone else's job harder, which that's not that hard to figure out. The ship can help you with computers plus con or engineering, depending which way you're going at it. Which I think if you do it the engineering way, your comp range goes up.
Yeah, pretty much. Would this fall under our first directive, which is don't contaminate the current time and dimension, by allowing a shit ton more Nova torpedoes going off?
It would.
Okay.
The Mercy token, wherever I buried him.
So if I roll a complication, I'll be spending a determination towards that.
Oops. Didn't need to do that. There we go.
Trait of Master Strategist?
I wouldn't take that here.
Commanding Presence?
It's more youth planning. I would say no.
Quantum Specialist?
No, you're doing like tractor beaming and regular space-time stuff.
The only other one I could go for is Tried and Tested.
That I would take.
Oh, cool.
You've probably done something similar to this, like save a ship from falling into a planet. Okay, I've done that before. Maybe not quite as under the gun, but I've done this kind of thing before.
And Focus of Mental Prowess?
I take that, yeah.
So it's Diff 1 now, I believe.
Yes.
That's a success for now. Now for the ship.
Okay, now for the first squadron, it'll be presence plus command or con, difficulty 2, as you're basically briefing the pilots what you need them to do, how you want them to handle things.
I think I'll go Presence Command to try and generate some momentum for people coming up.
Sure.
Focus in either strategy and tactics or composure.
Say again, sorry?
Strategy and tactics or composure.
I'll take strat and tack, yeah, sure. Given the briefing and you're talking them through exactly. It's like this is just the first of 3 missions, but this one I really need you to understand what I'm trying to get you guys to do. Because you don't want to have to babysit them the whole time. You have your own thing you're going to be doing at the same time.
The only 2 traits I'll play for is Master Strategist and Commanding Presence.
Commanding Presence I'll take. So diff 1, yeah.
And I'll give you a threat.
Okay.
Now is this assisted by communications command?
Communications command or computers command, yeah. Two down. Now we have ship 1, which will be it's going to be a reason con engineering. Actually, or called insights. You have to kind of guess at what they might run into over there. Insight plus con or engineering difficulty 2. As you're trying to figure out what exactly they might need to do, what sort of complications they might run into while they're doing this, and when to bother calling you. Because if they're calling you every 5 seconds, you're not going to be able to work on what you're doing.
I'll go for the same trait I hit the first time? Tried and tested?
Won't take that one, 'cause this is something you probably haven't done before. At least while on my camera, anyway. While on screen, put it that way.
Quick reflexes.
No, because you're not there.
It's worth a go.
Forget it. I'll just get in the shuttle myself.
Yeah,
sir, you can't be everywhere at once. Watch me. No, sir, really. Physics. Damn the physics. I'm a Starfleet captain.
Focus in strategy and tactics.
That I would take, yeah.
I'll spend a momentum. Control the ship.
Yep.
And I assume it's the same for ship 2.
That one will have a complication increase. Just because you know this, what the pilots who are going to be dealing with that one are a little more inexperienced, so you kind of have to be a little more careful how you word things. Same difficulty, just a little more complicated. You have to you really have to talk them through it. Whereas the other guys, you say, do this, this sort of maneuver and that sort of maneuver. Remember when we did this? And like, oh yeah, I know what that is, sir. Yeah, we can do that. The other ones are like, well, this is our first time we've ever done this before. So what is that? Oh, let me explain. You can use presence instead of insight if you want for this one.
Okay. And I'm going to roll 6 challenge dice.
All blanks. Come on. All of them. I almost called momentum. All the threat.
There you go.
Damn it. I wanted 6.
The ship. Of course, the ship wants to complicate. So we gained 4. I'll spend 2 of that to squash.
So you're at 5. Yep.
Could we
And
create
there you have it. You have your multi-stage operation. Kind of everyone has all their ducks in a row. You just have to go do it.
Could I create an advantage?
Depends on the advantage. As always. What you thinking?
That the ships are in a better state than we assumed, which makes it easier for the away teams when we get to that stage to access them.
Sure, I'll have that as an advantage. Just by sheer when you do the calculations, you're like, oh, there's actually a pretty easy way for us to get to those ships for the away mission. That's helpful. We didn't know that until just now.
And to do that, I would like to spend a determination.
You can do that, yeah. Toward what value? Have to ask.
Could I still spend it towards don't contaminate current time and dimension? If it makes our job easier, there's less chance for us contaminating.
Yeah, I'll take that. And while you're working on all that, what is Thralic up to? After kind of helping Ven for a little bit, but that's an assist, so you're kind of free for the most part.
I guess I'm gonna start organizing for the teams to go over and check the Iconian ships for ways of reversing the Nova damage. See if they have anything on board for those. I think that'll be a hoplite team thing because they're able to do that. And
this is you assembling the away team for the ship mission?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So who's going to be assigned to the away team? As you notice, most of the main characters seem to be wrapped up in things, although Ven's going to be a lot more free all of a sudden after his initial scan.
Mm-hmm.
Depending if Ryloff and Arlen want to, well, Arlen will be freed up because he can either be working on that all day or go, okay, guys, well, I've set you up. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'll be back tomorrow, Or Ryloff's like, you guys keep doing this, but you can send supports. That's what the supports are for exactly that reason. Your characters could be tied down with stuff.
You can and request Arlen and come personally, but if you don't talk to him, he's just going to be stuck in a default ship making state.
Gotcha. I think. I mean, regardless of the mechanics, I think that Derelict wants Arlen to keep doing the shipbuilding, so I won't specifically call him out for this. You say Ven's available?
Oh, sorry, I was going to say the intent for Rylov's to get this done to make getting aboard those ships easier.
Cool.
So,
I guess I can wait until you're done with your thing then.
Yeah, we can still get them assembled, so it makes it easier closer to the time.
Yeah, I'm wherever you guys need me.
Cool. Then I will be pulling Rylov and Ven when they're done with their respective assignments, as well as a hoplite team plus probably an engineering support. And
I think that might have to be Zeph.
Yeah. We have two fresh slates that nobody's programmed under the engineering supports as well. But
Yeah, I've created a few.
Yeah.
Send your message to Winchester.
Yeah, I'm about to send you one back.
Okay, cool.
Might take over a no, not that. Yeah, I think that's gonna be my team.
So you're grabbing. Okay, so you wanted a
Barrels.
hoplite team.
Yeah, I can just write it out real fast.
Yeah, write it out. Just so I'm gonna put the little placeholders here for now as well. Herd engineer. Where's my tokens? Come back. Oh wait, they're right here. I'm smart. Engineer. And you're typing out the rest.
Actually, I think none of the ones that we currently have in the list are available because they've been seen on screen elsewhere. They were all of those people were called in last episode. As in on Saturday.
Hoka too? I thought he wasn't there.
No. Oda definitely mentioned him. I don't know if he made a roll or not, but he was mentioned because he's our only other science person when Grill is busy, and Grill was busy with scans.
If he wasn't activated, I'm willing to hand wave go like, it was some other Klingon. Because if no roll happened, then that character wasn't active. He's not. He didn't participate in the mission. Just checking to see who was there.
Then he'd be the person we'd want.
What the hell is this? Oh, right. That was for a different possibility. Never mind. Oh, there it is. Who was there? I mean, Tharlik was there, so Tharlik can't be here. Barter can't be.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Liqueur definitely had the role because Liqueur was the reason you were being beamed down. That one, I know Liqueur's definitely tied up.
I don't think Hoka rolled.
No, but you could have Hoka.
Yeah,
if you want.
He's gonna be the one you want.
So
because he's he's finished upgrading, so he's the best you can get.
As apparently you still had one of the KDF officers still on your ship. And it's like I'm here. It's like, wait, we have like looking in the rolls. Like, wait, La Hoka, that's a Klingon rank and name. Who the hell are you? Oh, you're still here. It's like no one ever came to check on me. I'm wondering why I can't get back to my ship until eventually someone looped him in. It's like, well, now I'm stuck on this ship, so that's fun.
I mean, he's a big part of. I mean, he's not a big part, but he's one of our better engineers because we don't have any good engineers, but he's one of our better ones. So I imagine he was probably involved in putting the torpedoes on the station and then taking them off. So he might have been taking some of the Achilles torpedoes back to it. Like
He's like,
from
okay, I got the torpedoes loaded up, Lieutenant Ryloff. I'll get back to you. Just stand by. All right. I'll stay in the torpedo room for a while, I guess. Oh, I guess I can get back to my ship. Well, oh, there's an away mission. I can help. Unless you want to.
Sure.
Yeah. So, top light detail, Van, Ryloff, and Zeft.
We can replace Zeft with
Hoka.
Klingon and Hoka, yeah.
Klingon and Hoka?
He likes a little Hoka.
Oh, and you, obviously.
Yes.
Hot light detail costs you 2 opportunity and a number. 2 escalation to activate.
It's 2 and 2.
Cool.
Also, Hoka doesn't cost to get crew support. Cool. Because he has constant presence.
Oh.
Constant presence is strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, if in the TV show, as it were, there's just Hoka in the background. It's like, oh, hi, Hoka. Hello. Need your help with something? Sure. It's like he's just always been in the background this whole time. So why isn't the crew said anything? The script didn't have anything for the actors, so we didn't give him any lines. But he was on set and he had the costume, so.
I mean, he has a scavenging talent. He has a scavenging kit. He has a scavenging focus. So he's everything you need.
He started off as a Klingon sergeant with House Rasa as a scavenger until he came into the honorable service of House Sukita.
Uh-huh. All right.
They nearly killed him.
That's Klingons. That's how you make friends. You almost kill them.
Is there any extra gear you're gonna purchase for the away team?
Probably get good question. Let me pull up gear because I don't think of anything off the top of my head. Because I think we have somebody with science stuff. We have somebody with a engineering kit. The hoplites come pre-hoplated. I don't think so.
I've never used Hoka as far as engineering goes. Is he like does the scavenging kit cover most away?
It's basically an engineering. It's basically an engineering kit, but specialized for scavenging.
All right.
So a lot of cutting tools and
basically what we're doing.
It's like, why do you have 3 different kinds of cutter? Because different things need different cutters. It matters. What's this? Is this just a knife? No, it's a pry bar. It's bladed though. Well, in case you need to stab somebody with it. Yeah. Got to be prepared. The enemy could be anywhere, you know. It's not like they wait for you to be done scavenging.
Yeah.
Well, I will say scavenger kit's is not as good at repairing things because that's not what it's for. It's for taking things, scavenging things, getting things, pulling things apart. Could be something as a sabotage kit, I suppose, in the same vein.
Fun.
Maybe some extra storage? Like
For?
data storage? So we're not having direct communication from those vessels to the Achilles.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Like bringing an extra storage style pad or something like that. That would cause an opportunity. That would be something that would be like, it's not just any old pad. It's like, no, this is it's a bit chunky. It's like, well, this is meant for like being an independent. This is the 4th century laptop, you know.
Yeah.
So we don't normally walk around these things because they're a little more powerful than you ever need, but sometimes you need one.
I assume because power is out on these cruisers that EVA gear will be mission critical.
They'd be mission critical for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe generators if you feel like you need them.
I'm cautious about restoring power to these systems fully, so yeah, I think limited generators to tap into systems independently might be a good idea.
I'll give you. For one opportunity, I'll give you a generator. Though I will note that if you want the generator to power different things, you'll have to unplug it from the first thing you plugged it into.
Yeah,
like you have
definitely.
to carry it around. But think of it like it's like as big as a suitcase. It's like as big as a suitcase or as long as as the transport enhancer thing. So it's a big hefty thing. But it's meant for this sort of thing, like setting it down and powering an entire computer system locally, and then but very easily being able to yank everything off and or emergency detach cords away from the power source so it doesn't overload.
Yeah.
Portable fusion reactor.
Cool.
Or battery. It's probably not a fusion reactor. That'd be a little insane.
Yeah. You know, got cold fusion by the 24th century, right? I think Impulse Engines would suggest otherwise, actually. But no, I don't think there's anything else I really need for this, probably.
All right. So given that all the shuttles are going to be used, I imagine you guys are going to be standing by in the transporter room.
Yep.
Any other supporting characters you wish to pull? There is going to be stuff that'll happen on the ships, but just giving a heads up for Pend and Arling, because you can support from the ship, but there's also stuff that might happen on the ship that you need supports for. That said, because of the hoplite detail, you can kind of pull people out of that detail whenever, as long as the detail isn't shot up or killed or whatever.
If either of you have someone, go for it. If not, no worries.
I'll take a Kino.
All right.
You'll take Uno. Sorry.
Kino Terror Security.
Kino. I'm smart.
Kino Terror Security.
I don't think I'll take anyone yet unless it becomes necessary. Because we may need to do something over this side.
And having the cat, yeah. And also, yeah. All right, so that's what you guys are doing. All right.
Oh, I did.
Hmm?
I was just checking to make sure that Hoka had a basic ducting and a disruptor pistol.
He should.
Yeah, I didn't see it. For some reason, I thought it should it would be in other equipment. So when I didn't see it, I was like, oh no, do I have only my fists? But no. Not that I need them, but they're there if I need them, which I probably will.
Hopefully not.
I'm Klingon. I find a reason to need them.
So what I'll do, given that you guys are trying to look into the armor before you go over there, for each extra roll that you do, I will just award myself 2 threat to cover the fact that the away team's waiting longer to go, and that may complicate things down the road. But then again, achieving this means you might know things that you wouldn't have otherwise. So,
Right.
to get as many tries as you want, it's just every time you try, I get 2 threats. So that way, there's a bit of a crunch on it, rather than waiting for scene to scene. Because a new scene just means Captain Penn continues doing what he's doing, Arlen keeps doing what he's doing, and the away team waits in the transporter room. So it just cycles back to the security room pretty quickly.
I mean, it can always also be just like I've given the briefing and the thing's not scheduled for another hour.
Yeah. So if you want to take another crack at it.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
You're sitting at difficulty 2 currently. 6 work, 1 magnitude, 3 resistance. Still insight security.
Okay, inside security. Diff 1 now.
Diff 2. It was originally Diff 4, but he brought it down, and then you got a magnitude in.
So Diff 1 because security team. Detail.
Oh, you had it pulled down before. Yep. So Diff 1, you're right. The base Diff is 2. You brought it down yet again. Yep. Well, yeah.
Give you a threat.
Okay.
I believe this was
generated?
computer security.
Yeah, computer security. Well, there you go. Another 2.
I mean, we made, what, 5 off of that? Yeah, nice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 3.
Let's let me open this damn thing first. Not that one, this one. Please? Computer. Pretty please. Thank you. Good God. Okay, so we will use the Legion of Honor to make 2 bonus momentum just as a thing. And I will reroll only 1 more. We'll use the other one for piercing.
8. Piercing brings down to resistance 1, so that's 7 work, I believe.
7 and...
You only did piercing once, right?
Yeah, and then we'll do... I mean, it doesn't really matter. I can do 1 piercing and 1 damage, and I'll still end up with the same number of 15 total work, but that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Which is,
I mean, if you spent 2 more, you'd also fill the work track, but that can be left for the next roll.
Filling the work track by reaching 15.
Yeah.
He just licked my toes.
What? They all heard you say that, Cat.
Wait, it costs 2 momentum to lick toes? I didn't know that.
No.
Bro,
You might want to fix your mic.
No, she walked into the room to shout that at. Because her cat ran into my room to hide after licking her toes. But yeah, so either way, we're spending 2 momentum to get to the 15 total, and we'll have 4 left.
Yep. That puts you at 0 difficulty, 3 of 4 magnitude. The work track is full. And as a last little security measure, well, for one, I'm getting 2 because you're trying again, I assume, to try to get this done.
Yes.
So let's get that out of the way, and then Diff 1.
Which is, even if I wanted to work faster, it's like, congratulations, you get 2 anyway, so...
Oh no, that's a lot of threat.
That is a lot of threat.
I have to buy it at the Diff 5. The security system tries to kick in and destroy all your work.
How dare it? Also,
dare.
how dare that? Thank
Diff
you,
5.
Derek. Okay. And that's including Mercia being there?
Yeah. It's oh, that's new. What's new?
Okay.
It shouldn't
Cool.
be making that noise.
Diff
What's
4
new? I
security
don't
team
know,
is
alright?
still Diff 4 security team is still here unless you also bought that out.
You were all the way down to 0. Oh, wait, no, it would be Diff 4 because the base was that. You're right. Fine, I'll buy it up to 5. I'll account for your security detail.
God damn it. So, in actual, this is a Diff 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want an assist?
I got this. Probably. Actually, this is a, no.
All of a sudden, up on the bridge, Penn is alerted that a munitions beta has level 10 force fields due to possible bomb detonation.
Yeah.
On the plus side, the rest of the ship's fine. On the downside, whoever's in there is so dead whatever blows up.
On that note, survivor trait.
Yes. Now it's Diff 4. And the automated security system can't account for the fact that you're a survivor. It doesn't know that.
Yes.
So,
question. I have this constantly watching. I'm assuming this is a danger
A
or hidden
hidden
enemy
danger.
within the task. Yeah.
so that buys you a die, I believe.
That is reduces the difficulty by 1.
Oh, there you go. Never mind. Diff 3.
The things that I wasn't using before.
Oh, I'm not going to
'Cause
assist you
I
then.
didn't think constantly watching would necessarily help in the other ones. It's like, yeah, we're aware they're there.
Yeah, it's like, this is a new problem. Oh, nuts.
This is a backup, so...
I'm back up that even Mercia is like, no, that's new. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I'll give you 3, just to be on the safe side of things here.
3.
Threat.
Threat.
Good thing. Good thing. There we go. There we go. And then, as long as I don't whiff this with absolutely no hits.
Yep.
There we go.
You learn at this last stage that there's a reason Mercia had no idea what this was, because something infected the internal computing network of the suit. And the minute you got everything turned off, all the safeguards were off, you were able to pull off the armor, get a look at the thing, get it on the scanner, and then you're like, okay, well, we should probably start looking over the database and see how everything works. What's the interface like? What kind of power wattage does it need? You're figuring out how this works. And then all of a sudden, there's a bunch of blaring lights and everything's turning on, and you're the one who clues in. Oh, and you yank all the cords away from the suit into the ship into the workshop computer, which thankfully is isolated from the rest of the ship for exactly this reason. As you watch the computer in your room melt down, and you immediately shut off the computer before it gets to your replicator. There was an Archon virus in there.
Oh.
Although hilariously it was contained. You just happened to poke the bear and woke it up. That's why Mercy was like, what's this? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I never had to fight one of these things.
I mean, neither did Ryloff.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Well.
On the plus side, you now know how the suits work.
Yes. Have we been able to identify a friend or foe system in it that can be...
Yeah, it was in the computer system. That's where you were looking. It's like, okay, where's I know the hardware part of it. Where's the software part of it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, thankfully, you're able to figure out how it basically worked, what frequency it emits, so...
Okay, so is it like spend 2 for replicating something to take along on the away mission?
I would make it a 1-in-1 just because it is fairly dangerous bit of kit to have, but...
Okay, but we've got the so we'll do that.
It would actually... so you only have to pay the threat once, but you will have to spend momentum for each of your suits. So not counting the detail, because that's details the upside of a detail. You have to buy everything for them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'd have to spend 5 momentum to equip everyone's Eva suit with the friend or foe. And only 1 threat, because you only spend escalation once.
Yep. But that seems rather worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
So now Eva suits are commandeered. You tell the computer software these are commandeered alien environmental suits. Please do not shoot.
I mean,
there's an Iconian loyalist inside. Do not blow this up.
Yeah, I was going to list it as commandeered / infiltrators.
Yeah.
There's an advantage if it makes sense. High detail, because I know Mercia and I think even Trailblazer in the past has mentioned that the Alcarans and the Aldemona don't actually get to look at Iconian technology that often because it's so
that's
rare.
what the bolts are for.
Yeah, so if we get like a high detailed scans of what we just got, it's something that can also be shared with the Alcarans and the Aldemona.
You could do that. Doesn't help with the mission, but it could help you down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's useful to give to Mercia, who can pass it up the chain when he gets in contact with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Because of that advantage, you regain the favor with Mercia.
I mean, I didn't spend a favor to get him in the first place. I just
Oh.
That was an advantage.
Oh, well, you now have a favor with him.
Hey.
I thought you said it before, but no, it would be a favor because that's one of his main. That's the main job of most Alcarans and Aldemona is recapturing Iconian tech, especially new stuff, because that's new stuff is either somebody messed with Iconian tech and we need to figure out who the hell it was, or it's the Iconians coming back and we need to figure out where the hell are they so we can blow them up. And this information will be incredibly helpful to Mercia and will help him with his promotions in the future.
Yeah, and
he might not be on the ship anymore after this, depending on how well his rolls go.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's also one of the reasons why we're going over to the derelict vessels. It's the more information we gain, the better it is for us and our allies.
So you do learn that this thing has a built-in. It's a bioorganic armor. So, in theory, you could, with enough time, replicate a suit like this. Someone just dipped out. It's not you. Good.
Yeah, it's just fun.
So basically, it is a armor that is. They basically create these plates that do essentially fit together like a big puzzle, right? Except the mortar that holds the plates of armored material together is the subject. They implant them they press it against the person and they sink in and clomp down onto the meat and organ of the target. With a bit of calibration, it gets infused into them. So you're kind of prying bits and pieces of the armor out of the person's body. Now, on the downside, that's creepy as hell and probably hurts like heck if they were awake.
Or alive.
Or alive. And actually, given how Karns and Demona are artificial creations, this is probably one of the things that they basically tell them, because they're artificial persons, so they can kind of. These are meant for them, basically. So you could reprogram it for someone else, but then you'd have to give them a lot of it. You'd have to put them out surgically so you can implant the armor into them. Now, the reason you would do that is that it means that it's kind of powered through your body's natural energy processes. Just eating food, drinking water, breathing air, your natural processes basically power the armor. The armor does have that thing where it has a chemical that where each of the plates can secrete a chemical that closes holes and repairs the plating. So if you try to do an advantage, say I shoot a phaser to burn a hole through the armor so it's easier to blow through, it would just immediately be negated. The armor would just seal itself up. It also heals wounds, so because it's part of your body now, so it can start filling in gaps and protecting your body from your vital organs from harm. So unless you are at, even if you're at the 5 minutes from death thing, like you're at insta death, this thing automatically revives you, and then it heals a certain amount of stress per round, depending on challenge dice. So, and as long as you have at least one stress, boop, you pop to your feet and you're back to normal. It has the same resistance as a force field does, which I believe is 4 or 5. Yeah, it's 4 plus heavy armor. So, it's essentially an EVA suit. So anything that was atmospheric, like gases and smoke and all that, doesn't matter. You're in the thing's built into you and into your face, into your organs. It processes everything. In the arms, there is a plasma rifle on one arm, and then there is a folding stock that comes out of that arm, so you can rest it on the floor, and it can turn from a Type 3 essentially a plasma rifle into a plasma cannon. But it does take your whole action to basically sit there and set it up, and now you can fire a lot more energy. You're basically firing you basically go for plasma or disruptor rifle, and you added 2 additional challenge dice to its attack. As a melee weapon, it has built into the other arm, into the glove, a set of monofilament wires that you can flick out and attack people with as a melee attack. Is there anything else of particular note? One thing you know for sure is that this is something that isn't easily copied. If you guys, the only reason you think you could do it is because you have Alcarin and Aldemona access. No one else in the universe could do this without their help, because they have the basis of understanding of Iconian technology that could translate this. So on the plus side, if anyone runs into these things and happens to do what you just did, they won't be able to replicate it. They'll understand what it is, but they won't be able to make the materials because there's a lot of pieces in the puzzle that they don't know. And Mercia confirms yet again that there is no room for AI in the suit. Like a lot of tech for Iconians has an AI, like an actual sapient AI in the computer to help fight against opponents. Like the station would have one, the ships would have one, if they were active. The suit doesn't, and that's because the AI is you. The user is what's powering everything. The brain is the computer. So in a way, the computer that you were hacking was the brain of the dead person in the armor.
Okay, so why did all of these shut down when the AI or the station itself was powered down?
That's a threat to answer that question.
That sounds like something we should answer, though. So, yeah.
Yep.
These
They're just pretending.
There's one thing that Mercia didn't. Mercia, when you pause it to Mercia and you both look over the data, Mercia points out that these things are meant to be independent. They don't need constant supervision of Iconians because Demona and Karens are not rebelling. They are biological automata that serve Iconia. So you don't have to worry about it. Set it and forget it. But this suit has a modification to the brain casing, to the brain implants, that seem to act like a control module, but it's remote. It has to talk to something, and when it lost contact with that something, it shut everything off. He would suppose it's to make sure that whatever was hidden away in the brain, and whatever that was in the AI in the brain that was trying to destroy your ship, that it's probably meant as like a booby trap. It's meant to trick people into poking around into the computer and unleashing whatever that is. But it does mean that these things are, on the plus side, that means cut contact from the controller, they all shut off and become booby traps. On the other hand, it means that they also would be all connected together in sort of a hive mind which kind of freaks Mercy out a bit because that reminds him a bit of the Borg and other such hive mind type species, which are very troublesome to deal with, which annoys some of the crew, your security staff, because the Borg being referred to as troublesome is a bit irking to some of them.
But it is not a attempt at further enforcement of Iconian rule over these species.
No, because if they're
Just happens
you wouldn't need to for a Karn or a Demona.
Well, they evidently did.
Well, Mercia points out that there are.
At some point, they evidently did.
Well, initially, during the rebellion, some Demona did stay behind. It's just that when we fought them, they lost. So the assumption was that there were no Demona or Karns left, much like the Iconians. When they destroyed themselves and vaulted everything away, all that was left were the Demona that were guarding the vaults, and maybe some Karns that were in some of those vaults, like loyalists who refused the call to revolution. If there's new ones out there, that's kind of worrying to him. That said, could this control module be used to make an Alcaran or an Aldemona into a Demona or a Karin? Yes, he thinks that it could be used that way as well. He doubts it, but since you bring up the possibility, it's like it's possible. I just can't. It seems infeasible to him that would be something you could do, but if we're talking about possibilities.
Oh no, to the Romulan, that's very, very possible. That's not something that his own people would do. So it's like, no, yeah, in fact, it's something they do. They mind wash you. Anyway, you will go to report to the transporter bay. It's like, yeah, I'll leave you with that.
Yeah, he's enjoying that particular revelation. He's having a wonderful day. Whoopsie, wrong room. There you go.
I also believe in the last session we created the advantage of Mercier will be in contact with the away team as an expert.
Yep, so you can always call back to him.
He can't physically be present.
No, because he can't leave the ship.
Him to, but...
Well, everyone's probably not just standing on the pad tapping their feet. They're probably just waiting around in the transporter.
It's like, oh great, now I have to go attach devices to everyone's arms. Or is it just replacing an entire glove?
Yeah, it's basically replacing an entire glove, and it kind of has this dark blackish metallic sheen to it. It looks a lot more threatening in appearance as opposed to explorer gray. The only one it probably matches is probably Hoka in his standard issue KDF battle boarding outfit, but even that one, it actually matches up with his suit. Never mind. I was going to qualify that, and I just forgot what Klingons are architecture's like.
Yeah. So Ralph shows up with an armful of extra gloves, essentially. Here, put these on. These contain the identification and friend or foe system. It will identify us as Iconian loyalists in commandeered suits for infiltration purposes. So as far as the computer systems are concerned, that is our story.
Alright. Hopefully we won't be activating enough computer systems that'll become a problem, but it's a good precaution to have.
I would not be surprised if there are redundant low-power systems or independent power systems aboard these vessels.
Makes sense. Alright. Everybody, let's move out.
I do recommend that those of you who do not know what you're doing in Zero-G, activate your magnetic boots as soon as you can feel the transportation is complete.
Good advice, people.
Says the one who is very well trained in Zero-G.
Imagine you're activating Satal to beam you over.
Constant presence, doesn't he? Right? I think?
Yeah,
I believe Satal has constant presence.
He does, yep.
Yes. I was just double checking that because it's a moderately important detail.
So the question becomes, at that point, where do you want him to beam you?
Away.
Into space you go. Bye.
I mean, we're outfitted for it at least.
It's true.
I would suggest a cargo hold.
Yeah, I'll just find
Yeah,
a
low
empty,
security area.
empty cargo hold. Did you want me to put you like towards the front of the ship, towards the back of the ship?
If you're going for cargo hold, it's near the back. Either way.
Cargo hold in the back.
It's whether you want to be on the port side or the starboard side at that point.
Let's go starboard.
Does
Try to
it
find
matter?
try to find a
Good
cargo
mind.
bay that doesn't have any signs of life in it.
There's no
And
signs
hopefully
of life
none of
over
this
there.
has signs of life in it.
Hey, always good to check, especially if we're doing an infiltration mission.
All right, that would be control plus engineering difficulty. That's the base. Brought down by 1 because you were doing it in the room. Brought up by 1 because there's no pad where you're going, and up by 1 because of the weird hull plating. But other than that, control plus engineering difficulty 3, assisted by sensors plus engineering, and because engineering's involved, it increases the comp range by 1.
Okay. Could I use the talent of meticulous here? Whenever using engineering aim to complete a task, you may negate 1 complication generated. However, if it's a time task or a challenge, take 1 more interval to complete.
If a complication fires.
Okay.
Because it's
So it's
generated from the roll, so you'd have to roll a complication.
Okay.
But
So
that would apply. You're right. Meticulous would fire.
And 2 threat. Let's lower that difficulty by 2.
Because you're a transporter chief.
Yep.
So 1.
Should I use a determination and just try to gain some momentum here, or should I just roll flat?
It's up to you, it seems.
All right. Moving things is my job. Determination spend.
Yep.
And 2 more threat for 3rd dice and bold.
Okay.
Transporters as a focus, and away we go.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. Diff was 1. 5 momentum generated.
And then the ship sensors.
Oh, I'll grab that. Sensors. Engineer.
And away you beam. New scene. Lose 1 of those freshly minted momentum. Should be seeing a black screen.
It's okay. We'll just mint 1 of those momentum to the blockchain.
No.
Get out.
All right.
As you're beamed into the room, you find that this cargo bay is full of those armors.
Well, that's disconcerting.
Military
You can
vessel.
hear,
Obviously,
you
you don't
can,
have military gear.
you can hear a hiss of noise in your subspace radios. Unless you have those turned off, because I just remembered you might have shut those off. But
Because the ships
Yeah, I
would
think
have,
we'd
like,
have those shut
shortwave.
off right now.
We would have
your audio sensors would
shortwave.
notice a hissing in the room. Then I just realized I was like, oh yeah, it wouldn't be in your radios. You'd probably shut that. You'd probably shut that off. Yeah.
Like a static hissing or
A static
atmosphere?
hissing.
And when you say full of suits, you mean standing suits or like suits and crates?
Suits, lots of suits. Sort of that like big long lines of these armors just hanging there. With
Are they hanging against the
what you now
wall, or are
know,
they-
there are people in there.
Yes, that is just all occupied. And is it 0G?
It is not.
Which means there's at least limited power inside the ship still.
Can I try to figure out what's causing this static?
Insight plus engineering, or reason if you use your scanner, arguably. Difficulty of 2.
Gonna throw a couple of focuses because I don't know what's causing this. Scavenging, hazardous environments.
Hazardous environments.
Okay. Take a threat. Oh wait, this is
Sure.
not science. Take a threat anyways. Oh
Okay.
no, because it's. I didn't see we have momentum. I'll use a momentum.
Okay.
Wow.
Something is appearing on someone's scanner.
Wait, we count as soldiers of the ship?
Yep.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we had to spoof a thing, I think.
Yep.
We presently count as infiltrators in commandeered suits.
Yeah, then I'll say the static is the Iconian suits being updated that we are here. Can I, like, check one of the suits? They don't have any, like, just to see if it seems like there's any other, like, way the ship manages the suits while they're not active, other than radio communication.
As long as you do not scan them.
Why would scanning be a problem?
They have a proclivity to explode when you do that.
I guess. I've never seen that happen. I don't remember that's...
That occurred to us in a separate encounter with them.
Yeah, but the only time y'all have ever encountered these suits, y'all were known as intruders.
And I would
Like-
rather not risk flipping that switch back.
Yeah, but you scanning didn't cause them to become hostile. You were already hostile.
Yes, but it caused the suits to self-destruct. Is what I mean. It set off a booby trap.
I mean, Hoka has a scavenger kit, so I assume he has methods other than scanning to check something out.
You could, yeah. There are Rasa type, well, sorry, Tarkin style ways of doing things.
I should probably change the name of that that talent from Rasa scavenging techniques to Tarkin.
Yeah.
It's more a caution than anything else. To make sure you're aware.
For momentum, you can get an answer to that question because it's related to your initial
Sure.
query. Would Rylef have briefed everyone on what he found out?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Alright, I want to see if I can try something. So, I mean, what I meant was, does it seem to me if there's any way these suits can receive orders from the ship other than radio communication? Like, do they have a giant wire connected into a module or something? So they have two forms of uh, remote communication. They don't have any hard wires. Okay. Is it possible for two momentum to have a piece of equipment, a subspace and radio repeater? Basically,
For two momentum, you could have that advantage, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is of basically putting an all clear repeater in this room. Like put up the all clear repeater and then maybe block outside signals or something, deactivating them by another means, essentially, because they'll always think the situation is all clear.
I'll answer that in a moment. I'll be right back. I have to step away for a second.
I was only away for a few minutes. I assumed you'd taken over the ship by now.
No.
And it's not here at the same time as Corbinian. Maybe they're the same person. Has anyone ever seen them in the same room before?
Do we need to start saying Gold Canucks, ice hockey's best, maple syrup, Mounties?
Poutine.
The Canadians say "Go Canucks."
I don't fucking know.
Got your loonies and toonies.
Oh, that's an actual team. I thought I'd heard that before.
No, it's actual money.
What?
Loonies and Toonies is the
Oh no,
nickname for it.
I always thought
Canucks.
Canuck was just like a thing, like I don't know, sometimes acceptable thing to call Canadian, sometimes not acceptable.
Is it like
But
a,
it's the
like
name
a
of a team.
ice hockey team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it works like the Canadian version of Yankee.
I'm Canadian. I'm so happy to be under British rule.
I mean, they technically are, right? They have a governor general.
I don't know. I don't think you're really selling it.
Well, when I can figure out how to successfully, like, hold a Canadian accent, then I will.
It's just like an altered British accent, right?
No, it's
It's
more
closer to
American.
American, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
closer to like a northern.
I meant that as a slight. Like they're just slightly different British people. Or I guess you could disguise your bad Canadian accent by going Quebecois, so no one would know what you were saying anyways.
Ah, yes, the French Canadians. The clearly superior Canadians.
Yep.
Because, we je t'aime Quebec.
I mean, the thing is, like, there's a lot of people in Quebec.
This notice goes out to the people of Quebec. We do not endorse these messages. These are just Corbinian's views.
I'm back, and what the hell are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Beautiful.
We're making fun of Canucks.
Pinned was specifically.
All right. Well. So, to answer the earlier question, could you make a repeater that does such a thing? You could. It would cost 2 momentum. Or not make one, but have one and program it to do the thing you want to do.
If no one has an
Yeah,
outward
we've already
objection,
spent
I'd
for
like
it.
to try.
No, go for it.
Yeah, you're cleared.
Do it.
All right,
Okay, the ship,
then
the
I'm
ship
gonna
blows.
try to program a repeater to, I guess, block incoming signals and repeat the message that was just sent that we're at combat status and there's an infiltration team on board.
A friendly infiltration team, I assume.
Yes.
No kill eye.
So what's the
No roll.
program roll? Oh, okay.
Yep, you spend the resource. You just tell the machine, okay, repeat the signal you're hearing. Okay.
Okay.
You reach into your bag, you play it, you put out a repeater, and you play it on the floor, I guess.
Yeah.
The suits don't move.
I mean that doesn't confirm that this works. It just confirms that it
Didn't do
doesn't
anything
drastically not work.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
let's
All right.
locate a door.
Let's see if we can figure out exactly how much power and systems are still operating here. Honestly, it's more than I'd like at the moment.
It seems likely that the ship is operating on a similar principle to the Demona themselves, that being the whole ship operational. Or that the captain of the vessel was operating on that principle and the captain has been disabled, therefore the ship, along with the rest of the crew. The ship itself
Agreed.
would be still functional. So let's proceed. I'm assuming we can find a door.
You look around for doors. Do you use your scanners or your Mark 1 eyeballs?
I think
Mark
we should
one
just look
eyeballs?
for it, yeah.
I'll look for the door.
If asked, I will do scanning.
And scanning for a door in a ship that we're supposed to be.
Looks sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
For a
depending on
vessel
if
that
the
likely has an
AI is
AI
still...
aboard it.
Yeah. We don't know if the AI is still in operation, so
Yeah.
we should look around.
So reason, engineering diff 2.
Insight or reason plus con. Trying to find your way out through this maze. I will tell you for free, you do find the airlocks. Because those are very close to where you beamed in.
Mhm.
That's just plain view. It's like, oh, there's airlocks over there.
Right.
I mean, I guess with the idea of these people could just jump out of here and board the ship that way because they're in EVA suits. So,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 13 with a focus, I think.
I have an 11. I'll help.
Right.
if you're using insight, it's your eyes. If it's reason, you're using a scanner.
Cool. Gonna go insight con, focus in observation.
Observation eye.
Right. I will buy a third die with momentum.
Okay.
I'll just assist Derelict.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'll just assist. Focus in close quarter combat. Knowing where the door is quite important when you're in close quarters.
Arguable. I'll take it. Yeah. I do have a token for exactly this. 1 second.
Alright. And I guess we can just use the 2 we generated to wash the comp.
Do we need an assist from everybody, or is it just the 3 of you?
Whoever wants to assist, really.
Oh, okay.
Because you're basically walking around the room looking around. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Hold on. Reason.
Oh, I know where it is.
Okay, mine's actually not too bad.
In
Reverse engineering focus, just as a total stab in the dark.
arguable, yeah. I'd take it.
Okay. It increases my crit range by 1.
We got there, though.
Oh, it's the infinite maps one. That's why I'm looking at everything but what I need. Infinite sci-fi map. But I don't need you guys. I just need the door icons. It's not that big. Good gravy. There's one there. There's one over here.
What kind of doors are they? Personnel, heavy duty.
Blue.
They look closed.
Oh, are they doorable?
They look like pretty big doors, enough for a whole troop of people to run through. So you could move cargo through them. They're very big.
Alright.
But it looks like they're sliding doors that meet in the middle. So think massive blast door looking things.
So akin to our cargo bay doors.
Akin to it, yeah.
Alright. Let's head north.
Relative to what? Sorry.
The map orientation.
Well, that's not necessarily north. That's actually... No, never mind. You approach the door does not open by your approach. There's a beep on your subspace radio. Except they're turned off. But your sensors would indicate something's trying to talk to you on subspace.
It's trying to tell us that the combat status is okay, or where combat is active, and there's an infiltrator team, right?
You can attempt a reason plus engineering roll, difficulty of 1, to kind of safely hear the message on like a tricorder or something, but separate from your actual.
Yeah.
Well, that said, I say that, but that's also another way Archons could infect. They'd infect one thing and then into another. So that is a risk factor. If you listen to this message at all, it's possible you're going to get infected. That you guys know just because you know that's a risk. Subspace was the vector it came in at people.
I can.
It doesn't infect your body, right? It just infects the computer that you have.
Right, and then it starts looking, and then it stays dormant until it finds a replicator, and then it tells the replicator, "Okay, time to kill people now."
Mhm.
So
I think we're anticipating full decon of our equipment after this. So as long as the equipment isn't networked to like transmit to a replicator, which we have not brought with us, so the nearest one will be on our ship, I think we're fine.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the reason why we got the separate data pad, so it's not directly transmitted straight to the ship. So we keep everything isolated.
Yeah. We're not hooked back up to the ship, basically. So yeah.
You could use the pad to do that. You're right. That's why you brought that.
Someone with engineering, go for it.
I believe that's the fun thing about this ship. Like, everyone has engineering.
Kino has engineering.
True.
I shall open door.
Open door.
Well, you're listening to message on opening door.
Oh.
Listen to message for potentially opening door.
Close quarter combat. Listening.
Complication increase. It's related, but it's not what I'm looking for.
I'll take it. I have a good engineering score, so that helps.
Where did the... Oh, you silly thing. Oh, well, I can fix it before you guys get in there. There. Fixed. Silly freaking map.
And I'll take a momentum.
All right. So the pad is inundated with the current status of the ship. Last known hostiles, known as alien vessel, otherwise not specified. It gives specs on it and what it is. And at first you're like, what is this talking about? It's like, oh, it's talking about the Achilles. It just doesn't know what a federation is, and it's like Derelict based. Use EPS systems, tachyonic collider, yada yada yada.
Like threat level redundant, basically, is what it says.
Yeah, threat level negligible. It lists the Klingon ships. It lists souls on board. The different, like, it's a very detailed report. Like, and it occurs to you as a close combat person, oh, it's giving you a security briefing because it recognized you're trying to open the door. And then at the end of that, after it gives you a full briefing, it advises you, due to the combat status, that you should remain in the armory, prepare yourself for battle, change into a suit as soon as possible. And then it adds, if you wish to move elsewhere on the ship, please contact the captain of the ship for permission to move into a different part of the ship.
Well, Captain, looks like this, or Commander, looks like this ship is on lockdown. If we want to move to different sections of the ship, we have to ask the captain.
So we have to spoof permissions as if the captain had given permission.
Right.
Or we can spoof the captain.
We need to
and
get
ask for
permission
permissions.
once to know what the permissions look like to spoof them.
This is true.
So we should attempt to
Request
request permission. Request permission to move to.
Engineering to secure it.
No,
Or-
this ship is secure from the computer's perspective.
To briefing room for report on infiltration mission.
The results of last infiltration mission, yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Hopefully the briefing room is somewhere near the bridge.
Hopefully there is a
Or-
briefing room.
You could ask for permission to move to the bridge to give the captain immediate update on last infiltration mission.
Mission critical.
Mission critical, yeah.
Use the fancy words of infiltration. That might be best
Can
for
I-
me to do that. I may know the best terminology.
Yeah, can we work together to use what small knowledge of intership communications that I got from the first task earlier to spoof?
Combine that with general
And
romp.
combine that with the message we're talking about.
Yeah. And
So,
combine that with
so,
general.
so what exactly are you trying to do? Because I have a couple of ideas, but I'm not sure I know what you guys are doing yet.
Requesting permission to make our way to the bridge to deliver mission report of critical information from the last infiltration mission.
Oh, so you're trying to contact the captain?
Yes, essentially. See
We're
if we
asking the
can,
captain if we can move to his position
Okay,
Basically.
on
so
the bridge.
so how do you contact them?
to see if that is even
We're-
a thing
we're-
that is possible.
We're gonna have to send. So they have both radio and subspace. So I assume we're gonna broadcast a radio signal to the ship.
That would have to be done. Yes, we'd have to use a subspace signal. Or radio.
I don't think we have to use subspace. The suits weren't using subspace. They were using radio
Oh.
communication.
Sorry. I'll clarify. Subspace radio is what I meant. But there are two things that talk. There's the command module, and then there's the regular
Okay,
suit
so
to
it's
suit
not.
talk.
So there's only one method of communication.
Yeah,
Two receivers.
right.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we'll
then
have to take,
we'll
that
have to
risk.
send subspace communications, which means another vector of infection.
I can take that risk.
Yeah, you should do that, not me.
Mm-hmm.
So are you gonna use the pad or your suit's actual radio?
The pad, if possible, I think. Right.
If we can transmit with the pad, sure.
Yeah, it can transmit. You'd be doing it through like text and stuff, but it's
That's
a
probably for the
pad.
best, actually. So let's go.
Yeah. So you send a request to speak with the captain for the request, and you're immediately as you're starting to posit what kind of message you need to form, you're immediately told, signal with Captain lost. Stand by for further orders.
Further orders from.
That's it.
The computer
isn't
can't
that-
find the captain.
Yes, but that is posit the question. Further orders from.
Who?
As in, ask the question to whatever just responded to us. Which I'm
That's
assuming
what I'm.
should-
I'm
The
agreeing with
captain.
you.
If the captain's unable to be contacted, how are we supposed to get further orders from him?
Ask it. Tell it the information we have is critical to the survival of the current operating squadron. Locate next highest ranked official.
Yep. It's gonna say one of us.
I mean, that would be ideal.
That would be ideal.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you now count as the captain.
It's like, actually, that's you. It's like, great, let us onto the bridge. Okay. Sometimes the problem with
Or it could do the thing of like insufficient permissions, like, and it can't give you the permissions you need, so you're stuck on
Select lead infiltrator
The admin
and
access problem.
select lead infiltrator and have them stood up for permissions access granted.
Oh, that is. rare one
these
of
suits
those
are basically incompatible with our biology, right?
They are unless you have a surgery bay to implant them. But this thing says like it's normal. Although, Ryloff, you know that these things, if you were a Karn or a Demona, it would just kind of do it itself independently. But these things haven't been calibrated for you guys at all because it doesn't know what your species are.
Oh, send a message back. Last mission included difficult combat with lesser species, currently too damaged to access suits. Like, send us to the med bay.
Oh,
Mhm.
Presence Command or Medicine, difficulty 5 to trick the system into thinking that's required.
I can't do this roll.
Definitely
That
not
sounds like a me
medicine.
roll.
Yes, that does sound like a you.
All
Okay.
right.
Well,
Because there's a lot of
momentum-
guessing at what their security words are, what the official terms are, and it's like, let's make it sound official without it sounding too alpha beta quadrant E, too contemporary, because it will sound weird to it, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm getting the impression that if we just tell it we need to go to the bridge to purge the Xenos, then it will accept that as an honest answer and let us go.
It might.
It
might. Focus in strategy and tactics.
Yep. You have to explain to it the strategy, the tactics and strategy involved.
Yep.
As it occurs to you, you're talking to an AI.
Wow. Can I deduce how intelligent of an AI?
It is a shackled. Sorry, I take that back. You wouldn't know for sure without a roll, but from what you know from the records that the Alcarns would have shared with you, this is likely a shackled AI, but it's a sapient AI shackled within certain parameters.
Cool. So we're dealing with a superhuman intellect that can only do certain things, basically.
That's scary in a different instance.
If only we
Yes,
had
it
you
is. Yeah, that would be great.
here.
Trait of military family. I'm familiar with a lot of different ways you talk about security clearances.
Yeah, and you even know like older ways to say things, like, oh, we used to say that, when we were still running around with gunpowder weapons.
Yeah.
Can I assist you with a paranoia focus?
You could.
I think it's warranted right now.
Exactly.
Also, trait of hoplite commander.
I'll say no. That's too modern.
Okay.
Which is a weird thing to say. Your military traditions are too modern for them.
Yeah. All right. I will buy full limit of dice with 4 momentum and 2 threat.
2 threat, you say?
Yep. Rolling 5 on what is now a diff 4. All right. And I believe I have an assist coming in as well.
Oh, I mean, if you insist. I was looking at something else. There you are.
Cool.
So furious typing, wait. Furious typing, wait. Furious typing, talk among yourselves. Furious typing. No clicky clacks though, because touchscreens.
More like pitter patter.
Pitter patter. The pitter patter of furious typing.
I mean, part of me also says sitting here going, we could just straight out tell it we are Iconian aligned alien species that are incompatible with the suits without prior adjustment. It's also an option.
You could, yeah. The Iconians conquered many species across the galaxy.
Which
I
would be
continue to do
for
so.
infiltration purposes.
Yeah, I think I like that better than we're
Battle
injured and
damage.
have to go to sickbay.
Because
Yeah.
it would take a quick scan to verify that we are indeed not injured, whereas telling the truth in a fashion.
It's a better way of infiltrating to do that. Yeah.
Designate
So-
lead infiltrator.
Lead infiltrator
Yeah.
is either by rank or by the person with the most sneaky. You've got the most rank, I've got the most sneaky.
I would think because of this presence command role suggests that it should be Thralic.
Yeah, I think so too. So we'll designate me.
Open Eva Suit's subspace radio to a frequency, and it gives you a frequency number.
Is that you or me?
That's me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go for it. I think.
So you turn on your radio to that frequency.
Hand-on
Yep,
phaser
it's-
just as the precaution.
Yep. And our subspace radios are range limited, so
An immediate effect. Oh,
wonderful.
by Thralic.
Bye bye.
Your HUD changes its display. You see it flicker. And then you see big red letters. Starfleet found, Starfleet found, Starfleet found, Starfleet found, and then you can't breathe. The Eva suit shut off the oxygen. You are now suffocating.
Can I try to jump in and hook up external oxygen supply, like 2 momentum to pull that out of a bag? As a scavenger, like, I'd probably run into having contaminated air or something on long missions.
For a moment, if you can grab one out of your bag, sure.
Can I shut down my suit's electronic systems?
How do you plan to shut it down?
I don't think you have control anymore.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can I replace the can I hook this oxygen up on a secondary system real quick? Like onto a physical system that relies on manually opening the oxygen valve rather than a computerized one?
You would have to jury rig the suit because it's built into the suit.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Damn,
Daring plus engineering, difficulty of 3, comp range 3. Because if you screw it up, you're going to compromise the integrity of the suit.
Determination on act fast, think faster.
Yeah.
Focus in either scavenging hazardous environments or lead by example. I feel like I'm touching.
Hazardous environments.
All right. I'll throw in an extra 2 momentum on this.
Okay.
That is 4 successes. I forgot to set the comp range, but it didn't matter.
Starfleet found, Starfleet found, Starfleet found. You feel jostling next to you, and you hear a whir as Hoka's like ripping things apart and prying
Stay
things
still.
out.
Do not move.
Jamming the oxygen thing open, and then very quickly shoving in a new one, and then purposely there's this ugly mess of a jury rig on your back, but you can breathe again. Die, 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 die. Starfleet, 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 Starfleet found, Starfleet, die, die, die. And it just goes on and on and on over your screen.
Cool. How visible is that from the exterior?
Yeah, you guys can see it. It's just mirrored.
All right.
Commander, are you okay?
Why does it keep saying eid, 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 eid?
Keep saying eat.
Actually, it's
Go, bro.
Endorian. It's an Endorian, so it's in swirls and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah.
I cannot vouch for how long your suit will last.
Thralic, you can hear people talking to you, but it's muffled because it's almost like this thing's radio isn't working now. But they're talking at you with their microphones, and you can hear them through the glass.
Yeah.
Or the glass, the face mask.
If Thralic doesn't seem to be responding, I'll start making, like Klingon tactical signs to try to communicate with him.
You guys can
I
hear
will...
Thralic. It's just Thralic's talking through a mask.
In fact, actually, I mean, you said that that's the case, so that's the case. But like, they actually wouldn't be able to, right? Because sound doesn't carry through a void.
Oh, you're
Or
right.
not.
And there's a void between our masks.
That
You're
is assuming that
right.
there isn't actually an atmosphere in here.
Wait.
You're right.
If
Yep.
there's an atmosphere
No,
in this room, then that you can disregard
We were
what I
able
just
to
said.
hear
Oh, you're
something
right.
previously.
That's right.
So-
You're correct. There would be atmosphere because you were hearing noises earlier.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
only. Yeah, as long as there's an atmosphere in the room that we're in, we can hear Thralic.
Yeah.
Does mean
Mhm.
the plausible solution just then was to take off her helmet.
Well,
Uh,
the other thing you
that
can do
seems
is
like
you
a
literally
bad
tap
idea.
you literally like tap
Use
your
the glass
helmets
to conduct.
together.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I still have any sort of system control over my suit.
Your ARM computer is flickering and blinking and green and flickering and blinking, and then you have an electronics control. The computer's compromised.
What does
I'm gonna hold up my arm and basically show that to the team. Be like,
You
suit
see the light
compromised.
show.
All right. Do I think, possibly more journeying, if I take a tricorder, can I bypass the suit's computer and like give them a secondary computer? They'll have to like hold it in their hand, but it'll be hooked up to the suit.
I think we have to purge this computer system.
No, I'm not going to hook the two computer systems up. I'm basically going to cut the leads and plug them into a tricorder.
Eh?
Your tricorder becomes the new computer.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, that seems decent.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna take point at one of the doors and prepare for an ambush.
That's
Yes.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. The
And also
The rest of the hoplites start doing that.
You know,
We have
pad
two
say?
I
doors.
don't know that if we hadn't done the scanner, the repeater earlier thing, we wouldn't be absolutely screwed at the moment. But I think we might have been.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's
all these
possible.
things were woken up. But that's why I'm trying to see what does the pad say at the moment? Does it just say "haha, die"?
No, it told you it just has the last message it sent. It said tune into this frequency for further orders for the lead person.
Because I'm using a tricorder to do this, that I've
Oh,
pulled
sorry.
off
I have to let me explain the role first. I was stopped. So it's control science difficulty 3 to program the tricorder to now become a EVA suit computer, and then it's daring engineering difficulty 2 to install the tricorder as the new computer in a way that's viable.
Would you count either of those tasks as involving some level of scavenging?
Scavenging? No.
Okay.
Nor
What about
scavenging.
salvaging? Or scavenging?
No.
I'm
not
salvaging and scavenging at the same time. I'm doing both. Okay.
Wait. I have a. If I run it as the science check, I have reverse engineering.
What does that do? What does reverse engineering do?
No, not a talent, just focus.
Oh, I think I have a focus, and I have bold science.
I have cautious science.
The ensign wants to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yes. Plus, if I do a task like this, it'll help me proc my testing a theory into practice later.
What's your engineering?
it's not relevant whether it's engineering or science. It's
No,
just
no, for the
matters.
follow-up task. The follow-up task
Oh,
is an engineering task.
My daring engineering is 12. It's not like
That's only
amazing,
one
but
worse than Hoka's, so why don't you just do both tasks and I'll assist you on both of them. That way we get
yeah,
theory on
sure.
the second one.
That works for me. I will spend a momentum for the first task, the reason science task.
Will you accept sensor operations at a complication?
Yeah.
Okay, that increases my complication range then.
I don't know. You might have a different focus. I just don't. I don't.
I have reverse engineering. I also have sensor operations. So if it
Well,
counts
you
for
would
you,
probably
it counts
want
for
to
me.
take the reverse engineering.
Reverse engineering will click because that's kind of what you're doing here.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, spending a momentum for the third die. Re-rolling one. There we go.
One momentum.
Oh, control science.
Roll science.
Uh-oh, that one is... wait, is
it
that
doesn't change the
5?
result of the roll. It doesn't change the result of the roll.
Well, I can't tell. Is that a 15 or a 5?
It's a 5.
18, 16,
What
5, 3.
Your successes came from things that are less than the lowest possible attribute, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then I have to make a daring engineering diff 2.
Yeah.
Yep. You now
Guess
have the
what?
you now have the
Testing theory.
tricorder programmed. Whose tricorder is being scavenged because they're not going to have it anymore.
I was gonna take tears because that's not really the thing they do.
That's fair.
Okay.
If tears
Yes,
fine with that.
Arlen.
Kino? Arlen, yeah.
What? Sorry.
I would like to take Tier's tricorder to help the commander. Because you're the only non-science person, really.
I mean, hi.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I guess I could take Rylov's, but also
I outrank
Tier is like
so.
the lowest person
Yes.
on the totem pole here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm the.
Terra has a bludgeon for a reason.
All right, then yeah, that's who we're taking.
Okay,
Cool.
so then daring engineering diff 2.
Yep.
Except testing a theory into practice, I automatically get a third die, and the diff goes down to 1.
It's true.
I'm not even going to spend any dice for this.
I hope you do not regret that decision.
I mean,
I have
go ahead and get cautious because this is kind of important for the commander.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, I don't have cautious. I don't have cautious engineering.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
So
yeah, I wouldn't worry about getting the extra dice. I'd only worry about if you could get a reroll somehow. But you still have determination.
Cool.
Yeah, I only needed 1 hit. So
Momentum is nice.
that just made us momentum.
Eventually, after a bit of jury rigging, there's now you now have a tricorder in your hand, which acts as your control module for your Eva suit. So you're able to. The messages go away because you're working on a different computer now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'll look at the commander very sternly and say, "You must not drop this, or you will die."
Okay, you should have control again, and you should be able to hear me somewhat clearly.
Yes. Thank you, Ensign.
Oh, the computer in the tricorder lets you know this is not an ideal use of the tricorder, and to please get a replacement suit as soon as possible.
I dismissed the warning.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
All
sorry.
right.
Should have turned notifications off.
Also, heads up. I only have a repeater in this room, and it already knows you're here and that you're a bad person. So there's probably suits that want to kill us in adjacent rooms.
That's also viable as it assumes that she has now died.
Yeah.
And they're gonna.
Can we send a message to the computer that says false infiltrator destroyed?
I think we might be looking at 2 different systems right now.
Yes. I would
The
assume
AI
Archon.
system and an Archon remnant or some such that is broadcasting via subspace.
Though the fact the Archon would be present at this time is troubling.
Agreed. My first assumption is that the Iconian cruisers that followed us back here initially brought that with them somehow.
I wonder if it's like um, a parasite that is not particularly harmful to the Iconians, so it doesn't really like bother them, but to species that are much less advanced, it's deadly in the way that, something that might give a Targ a minor flu will lay out the strongest warrior.
Mm-hmm.
A reasonable
Well,
possibility.
I see us having two options at present. One would be someone else attempts the same thing with hope for a different result, perhaps myself, given a Romulan is not immediately identifiable as Starfleet.
Your
I
suit
worry it might
is.
simply be picking up on the systems that we're using.
This is also potentially true. However, I am capable of making small modifications to the suit that would alter its signature somewhat, suggest it was Romulan.
It won't matter if you're Romulan or Starfleet or Empire or whatever. You're still a minor species that is under an exterminatus order.
The Exterminatus order does not come from the Archon.
No, but the Romulans were there at the battle. They committed like 8 warbirds under which fought in the delaying action under Starix. That was before the Civil War, but there were definitely a large contingent of Romulan warships there.
I think we've determined that onboard subspace communication is not viable.
Forcing the doors is likely to ensure that combat will occur shortly afterwards.
Agreed. Is there any computer access in this room?
I have an alternative.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It
Yep.
is possible that I will be able to, if moving separately to you, be able to divert much attention in a different direction.
Okay. I will spend a momentum for a third die. No focus, just third die. Sure. You know what? I'm not gonna tempt fate.
Coward.
I'm cautious.
That's another word for coward. But yes.
No, they have different dictionary definitions. Now.
I do believe it is possible that I'd be able to divert a lot of attention that would otherwise go towards you and give the rest of the away team a better chance at accomplishing the goals.
There are 4 access panels on the walls.
I'll consider it, Lieutenant. Right now, I don't think that's our best course of action. I do want to get everybody back off this ship.
I have all intentions of getting back off the ship while doing that.
I see 4 access panels, and I do get a free question because I scanned for this for the tricorder, presumably. Let me see.
Ben, why did you scan with a tricorder?
Yeah.
I will refrain from doing so from now on.
It's almost like we've mentioned this.
Whoops.
This is why you
Okay.
don't be a cadet.
Look, he only just recently graduated, all right?
Yes, exactly.
It's just
This is why he should still be
Okay.
a cadet.
I still get a free question because I did that boneheaded move.
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I will tell you, the tricorder doesn't tell you to die.
Cool. What does this one do?
It opens the door. Or
Well,
closes it.
if my understanding of things is correct, this panel here probably opens the store, and that would logically dictate that this panel here probably this door, and then he points over to the two panels behind the commander, by where the commander is. No idea what those do.
Airlock controls.
Are those airlock controls?
You can spend momentum to ask those questions, Ben. Maybe you know.
Or
You
just
know
like
what?
identify those?
Yeah.
Yes, the airlock control is just Rylov's guess, given I think you pointed to an airlock and said it's there. So.
Where's the airlock?
Not marked on the map, but there is
Okay.
airlocks in the room.
Oh, well, in that case, yes. That would be Ven's guess as to what that. So wait, is
helpful.
one of these panels next to those not depicted on the map airlocks, and one of them next to nothing, or are they both next to this not depicted airlock?
They're both next to airlocks.
Okay, never mind then. Then I won't spend any further momentum.
Okay.
Because there is not a panel that would seem to have a non-obvious function. All right. Well, I figure that these panels probably control these doors. Whether or not we want to try interfacing with them is your call, Commander.
Well, we're not gonna get much done on staying in the cargo bay. If we're gonna do some damage, we need to get out.
Agreed.
Perhaps we could interface with one of them using the another one.
One thought. Have we tried lying to the computer that's accessing the pad?
Yeah, that's what.
Simply say, orders received, must head to the bridge. And see if it just is like, okay.
Oh, that's what you guys managed to tell it. Hey, wait, we need a reason to move around. It's like, okay, well, I'll give you the access codes. Tune your radio to this then, since you can't use the suit. Because it needs to give you the codes.
So,
I can tune.
But it's trying to give it to only one person because only that person's supposed to have them.
Right, well, we can just tune a separate tricorder to that frequency then and wish it luck, given Vens didn't immediately succumb. It's possible it's just...
I think if we do so, we should set it up as a device that doesn't have internal memory.
Yeah,
so
I can whiteboard.
I was thinking, like on this airlock. So we everybody bolts down their boots, right? And then we harvest this panel and use it as an electronic system, an interface to interact with other panels along the way.
Remembering that
Possible.
internal sensors aboard the vessel are presently operational.
If we can get the computer to let us through, that's the best outcome. So,
I mean, we could try just to I guess go mess with one of the panels on its own.
Can we try spoofing something first?
Yeah. Try spoof first. See if you can get a device cleared of all identifying markers.
Which is Brylov's going to do that to his own tricorder because
Yeah.
if his goes out of commission, he's not necessarily concerned.
Reminds me, I have to mark who's lost their tricorder. Boop. And it's going to be you here in a second. Boop.
Wow.
I mean, that's not what we're doing with it, but okay.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it'll stay functional. Well, you're kind of rendering it into safe mode, so it's kind of a useless tricorder at that point. But
Yes. Which, I don't particularly mind that. So
yeah, actually,
it makes it a non-functional for the Archon as well.
Either control plus science difficulty 2, or you can spend 2 momentum to establish the advantage. You can get the tricorder to do it automatically, or you could program it yourself.
I am not a scientist, so I'll just spend 2.
Okay, 1 and 2.
You don't want me.
You now have a safe mode tricorder, which is terrible at scanning, terrible at computing, it's terrible at everything, but it can do a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sort of thing you give cadets.
Imagine you just like turned it off and turned it back on. It asked if you wanted to start
press
in safe
the button at the BIOS screen. Yeah.
No, it's not what you give cadets. It's what you give
like children,
10-year-old Bajoran children.
He has a fully functional one. It's just in cute kitty colors and has like rounded corners. So if he hits himself,
I'm pretty sure I've done vital tasks with my first medical tricorder.
Medical tricorder.
The heartbeat goes bumpy bump. No, sorry, what was it, Roloff?
Tuning it to the given frequency.
You tune it to the frequency. Okay. You get access codes, or it's what amounts to command codes for your unit, for your infiltration unit.
Mm-hmm. Let's proceed to enter those.
What are you entering it into?
The northern.
So you walk up to the panel.
Would it be that or the pad?
I'd assume you enter it into the panel. I mean, the computer was saying this is where you get the access codes from. I don't imagine it saying that's where you need to enter them into the pad.
Yeah, because it was asking you for a frequency. It says, tune to this frequency, you'll get a code number. And it's like, okay, I'll tune to this frequency.
So I'm assuming we just use the codes then after that.
Yeah. Fair.
So, yep.
So you access the store?
Mm-hmm.
The door opens.
All right. Let's go. Walk like
that took way too long.
Yes,
that was amazing.
Wow. The hardest thing that any RPG group ever faces is doors.
I was going to
doors
say,
are the bane of
what
group.
are we, Vox Machina?
This isn't good.
I
might
mean,
be good.
If I thought y'all would have accepted it, I would have just suggested the original Klingon solution, which is explosives and a hearty yell.
Mm-hmm.
We might get there.
I'm surprised we haven't already, but...
Okay, thank you. Jeez, that took...
We did bring a demolitions expert with us.
Jamie want big boom.
She is far more the disarming of such things than...
Yeah.
I mean, if you're good at one, you generally have the knowledge to do the other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, I have to grab something.
In fact, I think the disarming is the much harder part.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to make something blow up than it is to make something not blow up. That's intended to.
One
true,
might say it's easy to disarm, but only once.
More often that's just licking.
No, turn this way. Turn this way. Thank you.
And it is simply a matter of walk like you belong here, and you know what you're doing.
You find a hangar bay. full of Iconian fighters.
Is this room like as big as it appears to be, or is it?
This is an abstraction. It's
Okay.
it is fairly tightly packed though. It's almost like each of the ships are kind of. It's like there's like little grab handles on the tops. So these things are kind of low, almost like Defiant style. They're lowered down out the bottom of the ship, and then the arms let go, and then the ships rocket off.
Okay.
So it doesn't have Gallifreyan and technology, where it's bigger on the inside.
Wrong setting.
I hope not.
Or is it the same setting?
So assuming this is a bit bigger and abstracted, is there any other entrances or exits that we need to be aware of?
Insight Con difficulty 1 is you look around this strange room, figure out there's a door here somewhere, right? Other than straight
All right.
down.
Observation.
Yep.
I'll buy 1 die momentum.
Okay.
Actually, military family here is great.
I wouldn't take it here.
All right. Well, got the diff.
Just because I did last time, so I might as well assist you again this time.
Yeah.
I used command instead of con, but it's the exact same number. Wrong C word.
There is 2 doors. The ones you came through and the big launch ones down below.
Okay, so wrong direction. In other words.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fine. Try this one. Gods. It's like probably look around, like, oh, okay, this way then.
Done? No.
Door opens. And you see one of the torpedo bays for the Nova torpedoes. A big room with the launchers and the drop things. Actually, the launcher. You notice that there's no launchers in here. This is like a storage area, and these torpedoes kind of fall down that way further into the wings and are launched at the edges.
Okay.
So this is where you would work on the torpedoes and make sure the feeding mechanism's working and stuff like that. This room there isn't.
Go ahead, sorry.
Right. And there are 2 very visible doors here because this room is meant to be easy to move around in.
I get the distinct impression that we shouldn't touch anything in here.
This might actually be exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, can I analyze these torpedoes?
What do you analyze them for? And are you using a scanner?
I like to help eyeball the torpedoes.
I don't want to start with the scanner. I want to get everything I can with the naked eye first.
Insight security difficulty 4. Because you're doing very preliminary examinations by eye and trying to guess at how these work without like fiddling with them too much. Like short of opening them up with your kit.
I'm gonna proc another determination on I can figure it out.
Okay. Because you're kind of looking at the torpedoes, looking at the feeding mechanisms, looking at some of the gauges, like you're trying to guess at how these things work.
Would you accept scavenging? Because I'm like generally before I start taking something apart, I want to know if it'll blow up or if it'll say,
Yep.
no, you should. Okay.
100%.
EOD specialist on my
Yes.
assist.
For the there's a oh, okay, never mind. 2 threat for an extra D20 because I think because it involves some element of scavenging, I can reroll all D20s from Tarkin scavenging techniques.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 3 momentum.
Rolled science.
Oh, security is 3 lower. So let's see. I think the 15 is. I'm down only 1 success.
So
Yeah,
1,
that'll
2,
make.
3, 4.
So
So you hit it on the button.
no. I use determination,
Oh,
so
so there's 2 more.
I'm up by 1, and Arlen adds another 1 on top of that. So
Right.
up by 2.
You have an understanding of how you have a surprising understanding of how Nova torpedoes seem to work.
Can I, to advantage that I have the presence of mind to write down of like everything I can possibly gain at this moment, so that it's like fresh and presentable to the show and all that.
You could
Like
do
I'm
that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, I may send this information back to Starfleet, but first it's got to go to the show.
Like takes out a pad and just starts typing in and then drawing stuff with a stylus to kind of help illustrate things.
How much computer systems are in this room, Jim? Just
They're
loading bay, or
this is a loading and emergency control room area. It's sort of like your guys' torpedo room. It's just that the launcher is away from the room, which seems to be vital to the operation of how Nova torpedoes work, for the safety of whoever's in this room. So there is an access panel for each of the doors, and there's 2 panels next to the torpedoes over this way. So I should probably mark that over here because that would be obvious. There's not. This place is. If you're. This is one of those. If someone was invading the ship and they got in here, that's what the armory full of troops was for. No, get out.
We should attempt to reach the bridge before doing much further thorough investigation. Because if we can disable security measures from there,
agreed.
It seems likely that once we reach the bridge and confirm that the captain is non-functional, as the only functional Iconian loyalists aboard, we might be able to assume command, and from there, disable the ship fully, or its security systems fully.
It's at this point, both Ven and Throlic feel their headaches, the faint headache they were feeling, go away. And Throlic, the end of the episode has occurred for the Klingons.
All right.
So you now know everything that they know.
What was that?
This is what I was asking at the beginning of the episode was, I don't remember if our dealings with that computer made us back in the same reality with the Achilles, or if there was a task where we needed Arlen to go do that.
Throlic doesn't know. Or rather, the away team doesn't know.
I mean, we told Throlic everything. I can't personally remember.
Oh, that's right.
Throlic, Oak told Throlic
that's right,
literally everything that happened.
Well, I'm just going to kill Throlic then. 1 second. How much stuff do I have? I have 27 threats. That should be enough to kill Throlic, right?
I was going to say.
So sad now.
I'm just going to need a pair of Romulans and some rifles.
There's only one here.
I'm already here.
Wow.
I need another one.
Wow, GM.
Don't worry. If he brings in some Romulans, I'll just give them the security codes. It'll be fine.
I mean, 2 threat, can have Dabba show up and.
But no, Throlic is aware that the Klingons they've snapped into the same level of reality as you are. Because remember that latex analogy I was giving? Well, the person pulling on it stopped pulling, and it kind of snapped back. So that's why it's like, I guess everything's fixed now. Ow.
Well, that's a relief.
Like, hey, we're back on the ship. Hey, we see the Achilles.
Also, hey, I'm no longer assisting Klingons in combat while doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on to that thought. We may get into that.
All right, let's proceed.
And actually, to that end, Pender, are you back?
I am, yes.
Yes, okay. New scene as we cut over to you. You are at this point. You have gotten the various ships pulled out of their fatal fall into the stars and away from the planet. You're able to direct the shuttles into their mission to help figure this out. And because you planned it out so well, it's pretty easy, really. You're not expecting a message back from the way team anytime soon. You know they're digging around in there. Mercia hasn't actually. Mercia will probably be on the bridge just in case you need him to tell you anything. Like he'll be one of the buy stations. But you're alerted by sensors that the Klingon fleet has reappeared in orbit of the planet, and you're being hailed. Oh wait, no, are you being hailed? I think you guys talked to. Oh, you have laser communication. I remember now. You guys had a way to talk to each other, just wasn't over subspace.
In a manner, being hailed, yes.
You are in a manner being hailed by the Klingon ship.
Then, in a manner, I shall respond.
What manner is that? Sticks up finger.
He just EVA suits out onto the hull where they can see him with visual sensors and just like starts.
No,
waving.
it's going to be like a flashlight, more so it's like, welcome back, stop. Don't blow up ships, stop.
Stand on top of the hull, semaphore flags.
Also,
this is going to take a while.
Please again, don't blow up ships, stop. Stop,
screen,
stop.
You find Captain Chio.
Captain?
You're gonna have to fill me on why I'm taking this call and why the Joe's not taking this call.
The Joe's very busy with something about the ocean and the inner spirits of the ancestors. Something. It's hard to know what that.
Barter's talking to him.
Also, wouldn't I refer Chio as Hod?
Okay. You can say Hod if you want. I'm just translating for the non-Klingon audience.
No, it's just in case something's actually different. It's like usually it would be referred to as Hod.
Also, I don't think it may be HUD that HUD is directly translatable with a Klingon, but some of them are not. There's like HUD. I don't know if HUD's like captain plus a level, or maybe it's the one below captain that's like commander plus a level.
HUD, as far as Star Trek Adventures Klingons concerned, HUD is captain.
Okay.
So for those purposes, that's what I've been using. You do have other titles, but those don't translate directly. I mean, the best you might it'd be like War Master, Lore Singer, Captain, Member of House of Kata.
I think it's the one that's law that connotates someone who's in command of a ship potentially as well.
Yeah.
There's some like the Romulan system where there's some like ranks missing, so they're like like one rank is given to two different types of people. I don't think HUD is one of those, so that was all irrelevant. But
as typical for this game. I mean, no. All my stuff's irrelevant.
I possibly, maybe not, had useless trivia knowledge that you had to be subjected to.
So yes, whatever rank she feels like, Chio. No.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. There's probably a bunch of house business, so I imagine I'm on the bridge of the Maymok, but I'm obviously not sitting in the captain's chair because that's a statement none of us are prepared to handle.
Look, he's just out of the room taking a meeting. I'm not allowed to sit there.
But he's still alive, so I'm not allowed to sit there.
Yeah.
Hod Chio, welcome back.
I wish to convey the Joe's excitement that you have returned to the correct reality. He was
other way around, but it's good to
you
know.
had disappeared.
Has Pend received a report from Barter that no, Chio's right.
Also, I mean, in Chio's opinion, whatever reality she's in is the correct one.
In this case, she's just technically correct.
That's kind of correct.
Well, is there anything you'd like to report to us, or just that you're back?
Well, that we are back should be enough for minor celebration aboard the Achilles. But also, I will send over all that we have learned from the planet's surface, perhaps you would like to send an engineering team to investigate the strange Iconian computer. Although, they should probably be instructed not to ask it too many questions, for it has many answers.
That's something we can investigate after we've dealt with investigating the disabled cruisers.
It has informed us of many of the locations of the vaults we will need to travel to, which correlate with where your assistant, Mercia, told us we needed to travel, but now we have the hard coordinates. I do need from you access codes from the vaults. Only vaults necessary to travel back in time, I'm advised to say. Or travel, you know what I mean.
Through dimensions?
I guess.
Yeah, because that's what we actually need to do.
I had Hoka explain it to me, but he's not here.
Captain, if I may, I'd like to access what they found down there. I might be able to shed some light on what it is going on over there.
Agreed.
Steps
And
back to his computer and starts looking stuff up.
Yeah, we're
As-
definitely sending it to him. Mercia is not coming on board this ship.
Yeah.
as
You
for
can't leave anyway.
receiving code for the vault, that'll be up to Mercia when they've gone through the data. That's not of mine to give.
Yes, that is my understanding.
Well, as
Found a
soon
repository. That's strange. There wasn't supposed to be one here.
Well, it is, and it is a very fascinating machine.
in what way?
Miyamoto watched the life and death of Kolek and knew all that there was to know of Kolek. Even things that only Kolek himself could have known. And far more, there were more people that we looked into of great personal interest to ourselves.
So it's a record of people.
It's a record of the dead.
It is a record of the dead in a way that is only capable of existing if there is a perfect mechanism for surveillance that is internal to the being.
Which means this repository's been active. Someone turned it on. He looks back at Penn.
It was active when we arrived. Although
Actually,
we
guys, I'll be.
used-
Sorry,
we
guys.
used-
I have to be right back. I'm hearing a strange noise.
I hope this is not the beginning to a horror movie.
Well, if it is, if he's not back in 15 minutes, we win.
I'm back. Apparently, it's my dryer.
That's good. I mean, that's bad. You should get that checked out.
Yeah, it shouldn't be making that noise, but it's not. It's not in danger. It's just not sounding right. So that's a different problem for later. Yes. So someone's turned this on. It is a repository for recording the thoughts of the dead. And according to this, it's been targeting the Federation, the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Empire, and that seems to be it. This is meant as a way to surveil the enemy ahead of time. It's meant as a way to look through the eyes of the dead and learn what they know. Although the first people to access it seems to be the Klingon team. No one else has been here yet. But someone turned it on and programmed it to look into those memories.
Um,
Although between the Nova explosions and the battle, it must have compromised the integrity of the containment system. So that would explain why everyone was having the medical emergency we've been having.
it is a flawed system, as there are people that I know to have gone to Stovacor who have not had their records included.
A fault with the system, perhaps, or lack of calibration. Strange, though. Rather thorough, the system. But fortunate for us.
Well, it's possible that, considering even in this time with a possible Archon incursion and the Iconians by the gates, that's what could have caused it to activate, even if not fully.
Our access should be seen as access. The machine was already active when we came upon it. We might be the first to access it, but it was already active.
Yeah, agreed. Someone else turned this thing on and programmed it to do what it was doing. It wasn't until the Klingons came along that anyone else looked at it, looked at the findings. This thing's been active for, well, it must be for centuries.
Also
Not more than
included,
a couple thousand years.
also included in our report is a description of what happened to the U.S.S. ship's name that I forgot. A Federation civilian ship that was lost out here on this planet, perhaps.
Turns around and starts typing things in.
I don't remember the name of that ship.
That didn't help at all.
It's not going to be helpful to you because the ship was like 100 years lost 100 years ago, but
It seems that some independent Federation ship came out here and stumbled upon the repository. They were trying to get to it, but there was already a leak in something they did. Oh, it wasn't the Nova torpedoes then. This was what they broke it. They broke the system, and it caused a containment leak, which was exacerbated by the Nova bursts. Okay, so they're both in the wrong. That's always fun. Well, that explains what happened to them. The security system basically drove them mad, terrorized them like it's been terrorizing everyone else with memories of the dead and how they died.
it did attempt that on us, but it was entirely unsuccessful.
Must have mentally fortified persons in your party, I imagine.
No, we just have those that are good with batleths. That sufficed.
Hey,
Mercia's
entirely
eyes
a
kind
lie.
of sparkle in confusion, and he just kind of shrugs.
Yeah, no, we're not smart. We just stab good.
And Pen, you know for sure from Alcaran's a shrug is him completely the equivalent of throwing his hands and going, "I have no clue what you're talking about."
I'll just hand signal, I'll explain that later.
He nods.
So we have a starting point of the malfunction. We have access to it, and possible repairs could give us more information. At least it's another place to start until we can leave.
Once we're done with the initial mission, it might be advisable to send an away team to power the thing down, rather than let it sit there and continue to spy on your peoples.
Agree, but I definitely want the away team to finish up first before I send extra personnel away.
Agreed.
Hodgio, I would request that your fleet not damage any of the cruisers. We are currently retrieving any information from them that could provide helpful in leaving or repairing the issue here.
we might have an interest in salvaging what is possible, but not to an extent that would damage or destroy the ships. But if you specifically request we not take those steps, then that is fine.
Well, the request comes from the fact of all of those vessels have more of those Nova torpedoes, and if they accidentally go off, I doubt they're going to make our situation better.
What is your plan for containment?
For now, we've stabilised their orbit so they don't crash into the planets or the suns. Once we've garnered whatever information we can from them, we will devise a best way of disposal with information gained.
Well, if it becomes a matter of manpower, we have several warships and fighter detachments which could be made available to tow the ships.
Understood. That'll be taken under advisement. But again, for now, until we get some more concrete information of what they contain and how to deal with it, there's no definite answer I can give.
Oh, and Mercia types something into his console. Chio, you get a warrant of emergency access from City Serene Mercia.
For the vaults we asked
Yep.
access to?
Yep.
This is good development. We will begin plotting a course and for the first necessary vault, although we await your instruction as how to exit the system.
We actually have a method at the moment. We are retrofitting a shuttle to better fit Alcaran designs, and with a slingshot maneuver around the binary stars, it's possible to leave the system.
With only a single shuttle?
It's complex calculations needed for it, and larger vessels would more likely fall apart whilst doing the maneuver.
We also have access to a system to send one shuttle. Perhaps we will go to different vaults so that all the necessary components are retrieved.
Serene Mercia, is that something you'd be willing to share with the Klingons for them to also to investigate a vault?
He's already passed along the access.
No, the modifications to a shuttle.
Oh, it is not required. We already have the modifications.
Klingon technology has come a far away, says Mercia. Mercia gives Penda a look of, and then looks back at the screen.
Yes.
Very well, if you're confident that a shuttle can achieve that, by all means.
We perhaps could get something as large as scale 3, but or scale 3, you know, 50,000
A Corvette class ship.
tons or something, you know. Yeah, a Corvette class, but we are not in possession of anything that scale, for it's too lumbering to be useful in battle and too small to be useful to take damage.
Well, whatever you decide best to launch from your own complement.
So GM, I know there are three vaults. One vault is how to get starships across the dimensions. One is personal dimensional transports. I don't remember what the third one was.
The one's a static, like on the ground gate.
And then there was a
Oh,
fourth
there were-
vault,
okay,
which was
so-
the one that Oda was talking about going to on Saturday.
The
right?
one Oda was talking about is the one that gives you the technology to retrofit your own ships to do it.
The dimensional drive.
Yeah, then there was one that was personal transportation, but that one was like
Dimensional wand.
it was so far
Dimensional
away
wand.
that it was considered like it wasn't worth it to go that far to get there.
Yeah.
And then
No, but
there
I
was,
was
I
I was
guess, the
pretty
gate.
sure there was another component we were looking for that wasn't just the dimensional drive
Is there an?
from Saturday.
Yeah, I do feel like I remember there being 2 vaults we had to go to.
Yeah,
to get
because
the
it
whole
was
process done.
one for dimensional travel. Like we know there's 3 different dimensional travel sites,
Right.
but the Achilles was going. What we planned on Saturday was the Achilles was going to go to the dimensional travel vault, and then the Klingons were going to go to the other one, which I can't remember what it did now because I dismissed that knowledge from my mind as unimportant.
1 second. I can.
Well, hopefully the GM knows. Or suddenly
unimportant.
that vault's no longer relevant.
Yeah, it's unimportant. We're sending the Klingons.
Yeah.
You say that, and then it turns out to be something you definitely don't want us to have.
I think
Oh, no,
there was one vault that had blueprints to be able to construct the stuff, and that's where we were going. Because with
Oh,
Mercia's
and then there's a vault that
assistance-
actually has one.
and there's a vault that actually has one, and the Klingons don't have the expertise or the assistance to be able to construct it themselves
that
from
it?
blueprints, but they could use one that is already pre-made and jury-rig it into their systems, presumably. I think that's how it was.
Yeah, we would also, like, we have so many ships that we would need more than one, I think.
I believe it was like a storage area for them.
Yeah.
It was like an
Does that
area
sound
that
right,
they would
GM?
go to retrofit their own vessels.
I'm double checking. I just have to scan to where that part of the video. Mm.
Well, it would have been closer to the end because.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is why having records is great.
Send a message.
Uh,
Yeah, so how are Klingon shuttles able to do that maneuver when we have to retrofit?
Chio's leaving something out.
I'm leaving something very
Yeah.
important out that makes us sound like.
Yeah, it makes it sound like it's technological rather than anything else that might be involved.
Yeah, I want it to sound technological.
Yeah. If Thralik was here, she'd call the bullshit. Because she knows what happened.
I mean,
oh, Vault 42.
I mean, the number
Yes.
sounds correct, but I don't know what was in Vault 42.
Oh, what was in there? Hold on, I'll be right back. Mute yourselves. I have to mute you guys to hear it.
Fair enough. Because I was like, I know there was another vault that we needed to go to, and it was something that was
I
like,
think I'm correct.
we don't want to
but I
not
might-
have this.
Yeah. It was either drives or it was like a storage of ships that you could potentially retrofit the drives from. I'm pretty sure
It
it's
was-
something like that.
It was something to do with the retrofitting, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I don't
was like
remember if
a
it was like the
facility that did it.
drives, something that did it, or if it was like another piece we needed to make the ships compatible. I thought it might have something to do with like the
'Cause I know the third
energy
option was just
systems or
personal.
something.
Yeah, I know the third option was just personal.
Yeah,
dimensional
so
jump stuff. So
because what we decided, as I recall, was that we were going to do the ship-based
because we didn't want to leave the ships
dimensional
behind.
travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, ship-based dimensional travel. So there were 3 dimensional travel sites, and we disregarded 2 of them. And then Vault 42 was a 4th vault that had some other technology that we needed. Wish I remembered what it was. It would have
I
been
mean,
a lot easier.
If we had a Pit Boy, we might know.
Okay, I'm back. All right. So Vault 42 is a way is not a dimensional gate, but a way to travel through at faster than light speeds that ignores subspace.
Right. That's what it
That's
was.
what it is.
Oh,
It
and
was
we
it was the way
needed
we were going to
that.
get the big ships to the place where we could get the dimensional drives.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, she will mention that perhaps you can go ahead as a scouting party to the vault with the dimensional drives. But first, we must go to get a form of subspace travel that will allow us to get our fleet there and the Achilles there.
Oh, luckily we were already planning on picking up the drives, so it's nice to see you've got plans of your own.
Uh,
Well, okay then. Anything else, Hod?
do you plan on going to the vault yourself?
Depending again from when the away team returns, it's possible.
Very well. Maymock out.
Mercia looks over. I have, according to my intelligence, unless the Klingons have developed technology 500 years ahead of their time, they don't have the capacity to perform the maneuver that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So I might advise we have emergency teams ready to go in case whatever they have planned doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spin around in my chair to look at Mercia. What's more likely? The Klingons are 500 years ahead, or they've commandeered something?
But it's a repository, unless they stole from a different vault. Because the repository wouldn't have that data.
Or stole from someone that had already gone to a different vault.
It's probably a good idea no one convinces Mercia we stole from a vault.
But that's why I said they may have. It's possible they could have commandeered something. I'm not saying you stole.
Perhaps we should have our scanners watching their test, and we'll see what it is exactly they're doing.
Y'all can literally just ask fucking Varder who's there.
You could have asked Chio.
Well, Mercia can't ask. He's talking
You
to
have
Ben.
a Starfleet officer that is over there.
Well, I definitely would not have answered any of Mercia's queries.
But yeah, I'll get Draben to scan what's happening, and I'll reach out to Varda for an update on this shuttle they're about to launch, or ship.
And with that, we cut back to the ship as Penn's observing what the Klingons are about to do, and hopefully we're not watching them all blow themselves up.
Klingons blow themselves up? No.
So last we left off, you guys were in the torpedo room.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of them, anyway.
All right, let's forge onwards. Get to central control.
Is there any given text on near these doors that would give indication of direction?
No.
No.
Seems they presumed you would know how to get your own way around the ship, or you'd have like some sort of head computer that would tell you where you are.
Yeah. Okay,
Sure would
well,
be nice.
let's take a guess at what the most reasonable layout for a warship might be. Really just
I mean, from what we know of the external layout of the ship, since we have identified a point on the ship that is observable from the exterior, i.e. the launch bays, we should be able to base to orient ourselves, at least rudimentarily.
Insight Con difficulty 3, as you're kind of like, how did that go again? What is the reasonable direction that would make sense for a starship of this size, based on the culture, what little you know of Iconian culture?
All right.
It's a very
Observation
con-heavy
focus?
episode. I wasn't expecting that. Yes.
Yeah, me neither.
This would be the pilot's day right here.
Yeah, a lot of that going around.
Hoplite Commander for orienting yourself and exploring novel environments.
I'd take that, yeah.
All right. Military family, being familiar with a multitudinous variety of ship specs and orientations.
Div 1.
Cool. One, rolling 2. Generate 1 momentum.
So what are you looking for specifically? Just so I know where to point you.
We're looking for the bridge.
You want to go into the center pylon near the 4 of the ships. You want to go somewhere that way.
All right. Then
So you want to get to the center area and then continue forward through the center pillar and to the forward part that's nestled between the wings, because the wings kind of guard the bridge from direct hits.
Got it. Then I will lead the way in that direction, basically.
So this door?
Yep.
Hold on, I need to clean up. There we go. You open a door and find... One second.
Uh-huh.
One second. God damn it.
You good there, GM?
I'm good.
Are
You're
we
not.
good here? We not good here?
Okay. So you find that this room appears to be a series of conference rooms and offices. And you see on the walls, displayed on the computer, the various economic status and commodities of the various alpha and beta quadrant species within the Federation, the Klingons Empire, and the Romulan Empire.
We found the stock exchange.
I will throw a very puzzled glance at my away team, but then, continue on.
Thankfully, this is a very straightforward room, so there's very straightforward doors.
Mm-hmm. And I am taking it as a given that the hoplite team is, standing ready at these doors as they're getting opened and stuff, not trailing far behind, but I can't move their token.
If you want to go center, you want to keep going that way. If you want to go forward, you want to go that way.
Right.
But you're still in the wing part of the ship currently. That much you can tell.
Well, we want to get to the central part first, then.
Yep. I'll take up the rear.
All right.
You find a massive chamber with various stairways that lead up decks, down decks, to various doors. There does seem to be some breaches in some of these doorways on the various decks. You can see there's force fields, very energetic force fields, crackling with life, blocking the passage. Likely more of a containment field to keep people from being sucked out into space or something valuable being sucked out into space.
Yeah, these are Iconians. Their crews aren't valuable to them.
Yeah. You do see there's various tools and equipment scattered about the floor, and a bunch of crew. Like some of them fall over the stairs, some are way down, some are kind of like lying on the floor.
I will make a gesture for the hoplites to be on guard here, but continuing on.
Can I get some of these? Just get a couple of tools just to see what they are.
They seem to be more advanced versions of breach repair tools. Some of them have security equipment. Some of them have scanning equipment. Some of them are carrying around like spare, like mini replicators, so they can replicate. So instead of having a replicator that's in the wall, they just have one, like a portable one. They run around with them and they replicate what they need to do something. Like they were in the middle of dealing with emergency repair, or getting ready to deal with breaches, because they were at red alert. They were in combat, so they were running around getting ready to repair various damages to the ship, or potential damages to the ship, because this ship
Alright.
wasn't breached, as I recall. They never got shot at.
I'd like to put a specimen of each in my grab bag.
You can easily take one thing, because these things are pretty bulky. They're meant to be carried around by one of these people in these suits.
Then I want a breach repair tool.
Okay, Iconian breach repair tool. You may note that as something that Hoka has looted from the field.
Alright. Yay, Hoka's first magic item.
Magic items.
There's all kinds of doors leading to all kinds of places.
But
But thankfully, you actually have a destination, so I'm not going to make you check again. You want to go through this one.
yeah, it's just like I think I know which way we're going, but yeah.
And here you find. Oh, this is kind of a problem.
Got bulkhead doors sealed off
Yep.
or something.
You see blinking lights.
Alright.
You see a massive corridor that's. And there are turret emplacements, but they seem to be not pointing at you. They're pointing like down at the floor, like they've been deactivated.
Mhm.
Like normally, this thing would probably be shooting at you the moment you walk through the door, but if you were an
Right.
intruder,
Well, we're not
which
intruders.
since you're not, there's nothing to shoot at.
Exactly. Are these things security or like damage prevention? Like, we able to discern that much? They're like internal security doors or like breach.
Inside engineering difficulty 3.
Right. I could make that roll, but I think somebody else would probably be better at it.
I guess I can get that.
I mean, I have decent stats. I didn't know if anyone else wanted to.
Was that okay?
What was that? Sorry.
Either one of you, whoever is best for this.
I don't have good insight, but I have good engineering.
I'm rocking a 13 total.
Better than me. I got 11. I'll assist you.
focus in hazardous environments or scavenging?
Hazardous environments, yeah.
Would an Iconian breach repair tool help here?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Worth asking, though.
Take a momentum. Oh, you better come hard on that assist.
Oops, shoot. I grabbed it. I grabbed something else. Didn't want to grab it. Roll for Kino Tier. Inside Engineering.
Arlen.
Arlen.
Author.
Sorry, the computer was acting weird. I couldn't find the sheet.
Oh.
Well, that's fun.
Wonderful.
Typical Starfleet.
Have fun with that.
Well, they just look like security doors.
Do you need the Romulan to have actually helped?
I mean,
Who has
We could.
paranoia and investigative techniques? Yeah.
we could throw some more assists at it potentially, if the GM allows.
I would take Inside Engineering. I wouldn't take Investigative Techniques because you're doing a lot of guesswork about why the ship would do this.
Paranoia.
Complication increase, unfortunately.
I was meaning as a focus, but alright.
That's a focus, sure.
Okay.
Just complication increases, though.
Unga bunga. Hell yeah.
We made it.
You
I
know,
told you that.
I'm actually gonna throw in an assist here too, just because like Derelict's decent at this.
okay.
All things like I wasn't expecting this. Team dynamics focus.
I would take that, yeah.
Hoka going bloody Starfleet, Ryloth being like, Romulan.
There we go.
But just squash with that.
Yep.
It starts off with, that seems like a security door, but between the paranoia and Thralic going, double check this, double check that. Yeah, this is a catastrophic breach system. It's a hard multi-level bulkhead that's sealing off something from a catastrophic breach. So something either catastrophically breached in here or in the compartment ahead of you. Because certainly not in the compartment you're in, because you would have noticed that by now.
Mm-hmm. Any way around?
There's a couple doors. You know of other doors. There's this door.
Mhm.
There's that door. But you're not sure if there's a way for the wing to connect to the bridge or if this is the only way to the bridge. That part you're unsure of. You just know the bridge is this way.
And our authority
Fair.
does not open these doors, I'm guessing.
I mean, you could walk up to it and find out.
Yeah. You got command codes to go see the captain. Like, if this is the way to the captain, they will reasonably open these doors. It's probably a one door at a time system as a redundancy. So we'd have to go through here, open this, all be here before we open this one, and this one will close.
Hey, someone get straight.
Yeah. Airlock system.
Yeah. So let's do
Literally a multi-stage airlock.
that. Yes.
So you guys are approaching the door?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold on.
God damn it. Really? Not again.
The first door opens. You're fine. You can all walk through.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Yeah, really.
You guys have to move yourselves in there because I can't move. The doors are a layer I interact with. No, I can't move them anymore.
Come on. I'm just gonna move Kino because
Well, that's where those guys live now.
You could give one of us access to that token?
can't anymore.
I can't anymore.
Can't click on the token.
Right. Right.
So you guys are going through the next door?
Well,
we
actually,
can
there is a
presume
way
they're
to
going
do
with
that.
you.
You can send the other tokens to the back, and that'll eventually make the hoplite token the front.
Ah, you're right.
And then you can
True.
click on the hoplite token. Thankfully, I use roll 20
No,
myself.
I was there. I had it. There we go. I'm good.
All
Well,
right.
let's see if
You're
there's anything
touching
past the
me.
second door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that second door opens. Everything's fine.
Hey, look at that. See, nothing's going wrong. We have no clue that anything's happening.
Exactly.
Unless
this
we
is...
do, I don't know. Does my paranoia indicate anything?
Wow, if you were going to ambush somebody and try to murder a bunch of people, this would be a great way to do it.
Oh yeah, I know that much for sure.
You open the next door?
I mean, once Ven and Hoka
We're not
actually
staying
move,
here.
Yeah. If Ven and Hoka want to come along, we can also just leave them in the middle of an airlock with no way out of it.
I think
If
we
they
should
prefer.
not.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay. Let's open this one.
You sure?
Yeah. What else twist do we have?
Like I said, we're not staying in here.
Yeah, there
Aw,
we go.
Dang it. Everybody,
Yes.
fitness plus con, difficulty of, you know what? Why not?
I will have to ask the
Yay.
reason of the roll. Is it
Oh,
like It changes depending like
It
what
does.
we have available to us.
Also, because I'm playing a Klingon, you're not allowed to do any damage to me except on Saturdays. So
That's
put
not
that out there.
true.
Fitness con difficulty 3. As when you
Wait.
start walking through the door, you are all subjected to intense plasma fire. As this room is on fire, something overloaded. Remember how these ships were falling toward a star at some point, unpowered, with no one attending to the ship? Well, things break when you do that. And one room happened to get lost containment for one of the plasma relays, and this room is now awash in fire.
Well,
And that's why the doors shut automatically, because the ship has enough has some certain safety measures that keep people from doing what you guys just did, or at least keeping the fire from spreading throughout the entirety of the ship. Anyway,
Oh well.
is it diff 3 or diff 5? Because you wrote diff 5, it said diff 3.
diff 5. Sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
I will say you can use that diff to either go back the way you came and just tell the thing close, or you can go forward through the door to the bridge. It is up to you. But you don't want to stay in this room. That's for damn sure. This room is a raging inferno. Your Evo suits are screaming at you that a blade of plating is melting. You do not
Alright.
stay in this room.
Get through to the bridge.
So yeah.
GM, trait of relentless.
I'll take relentless.
Trait of hoplite commander, because we have hazard team response.
Yep.
All right.
Sorry.
Trait of calm in the storm.
Yep.
All right. So that's currently diff 2 for me. I mean, okay, so there is one other trait I could shoot for, which is my extraordinary climber trait, representing, my increased physical capability.
I will take it because you could be climbing over like debris and stuff.
Hey. All right. Focus in athletics.
Yep.
All right. It's con diff 1. I am rolling 2 dice. I generate 1 momentum.
Into the bridge you run.
Through the flames.
Would you take Tarkin Scavenger, because the longer you poke around derelict ships, the more likely this is to happen?
Yeah.
All right. 6 threat.
Okay.
That's a success with a complication because I brought the diff down to 4. But there's no momentum, so I guess that's just gonna happen.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, you can't squash the comp.
I mean, there's 1 momentum right now.
Which is
Oh,
not
sorry.
enough, right?
Yes. Hold on. Actually, let me check. I think I might have something for that. I don't remember if I do or not.
Oh, don't one of y'all have the thing where you can ignore? Oh, that's an injury.
Yeah, it's an injury. I thought there was one for complications too. For some
Legion
That's the
of
reason.
bullying
Honor.
trait. The bullying of power.
Oh, bullying.
Is that?
All right. Never mind.
Yeah.
And there's medals
Go
that do that.
on ahead then.
Hoka, you're able to get through, but you have to. You're forced to discard your suit because the suit's melting around you, and you're safer out of the suit than in it right now.
Which means, like, so I guess the atmosphere is breathable?
Oh, you found that out pretty quickly. Because
Okay.
is either find out what the atmosphere like or stay in the suit. And I imagined you didn't want to stay in a suit that was going to melt itself into the floor.
Sounds good.
Hoka's in. Who's next?
You know what? I will go.
Okay.
I will spend my value, I think, quick on my feet
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
by 2 dice, and then I am going to roll 5 challenge dice, see how much threat you get. You get 4 of it.
Hooray.
Fitness con. Ugh, gross. Hey, that's 5 hits.
Huh?
Kino, do you want to try or am I going?
Actually, before then, hang on.
Rolling your
Nope.
untapped.
There's that, but I am also going to spend my Starfleet Medal of Honor, generate 2 bonus momentum, immediately spend it to create an advantage to make it easier for the next person to go through.
That's fine. Yeah. Like this way, hurry, hurry. It's like, oh, that is actually clear. Ensign has a point. But you know it's not going to stay that way for long, so someone's getting through that gap. Because this room is melting and burning, and one of the ways is blocked by a Klingon suit that's melted into the floor and is now part of the ship forever. Until it just turned into slag. But, you know, one problem at a time.
I guess I'll go next.
Div 4?
Hoplite trait.
Yep. Div 3?
Personal effects body armor.
It would give you resistance for whatever damage I'm about to do to you. If you fail.
And we are not in ZG, so.
Unfortunately. You guys could have turned it off this whole time, but no.
You're
No.
thinking about it.
You guys were like, no, we like gravity.
No matter what the value of, no matter what happens, I am the prize fighter.
I'll take that, yeah.
Either focus of close quarter combat.
Complication increase.
How about EOD specialist getting out of a room that's literally on fire?
Complication increase. It's related, but not exactly what I'm looking for.
I'll take it. And let's do 2 threat.
Okay. I believe your diff was 4, and you got 3.
No, it was 3 because of hoplite.
Hoplite. What was the other thing?
Then reduce something?
Oh,
Yeah,
Ven did it.
I-
Right. You followed Ven,
Yeah.
right. We. Karelov.
Alright.
Yeah, it is me, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Survivor.
Yep. So 4.
I am paranoid.
Complication increase.
Yeah, figured. Survival focus.
Yep.
Yeah. Vel, you can't sit around and wait for help.
That's true.
Because I'm assuming we don't have a directive that applies here. Unless we do. I don't know.
Don't
what our directives
contaminate
are.
current time destination. Figure out quantum realm signatures issue. Find a way to return to our own time dimension.
No, getting
And
to the
prime
bridge is
directive.
relative. Yeah. Okay, so do directive spend because that's important for us. But
Yeah.
under the find a way to get back home, we can't
Yeah.
do that if it burns to a crisp just short of the bridge.
I mean,
You
that
can't.
sounds like quitter talk.
Yeah. And it's fitness what? Con.
For a second, I thought you said it's fitness. Come on. Yeah.
No.
Ow. Pro tip: don't jab earbuds into your ear. It tends to hurt. Ow.
I'll keep that one in mind.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
I moved to adjust it, and instead of adjusting it up, I adjusted it in, and well, ow.
Do you? Oh no, that is before. No. Okay, so we'll give you 1 and 1.
So
Yeah.
1 and 1.
Amazing. Let's go. That's 6 successes for me.
Nice.
Which was
So
a
you do have 2
4,
momentum. You
so,
could
yeah.
crush.
I could. I will.
You're in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the fire spreads too quickly, and the Hoplite team is lost.
No.
And you guys notice the door, as it closes behind you, melts shut.
So trauma, right?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I said hold on. Never mind.
That
I was
is
gonna
the end
say
of the episode.
determination.